hello. Happy Thursday. Who's here? Say hi. Hi. Hello. Hi, Sniggle. How you doing? Hi, Shonda. How you doing? It's been a while. Let's switch it to this guy. Let's do these. How's the sound? You guys good? Oh no! Sniggle, you're sick?
Huh?
No. Oh man. Hello, Eliza Osmo. Is it okay if I do call you Osmo? Are you cool with that? I know we talked about it last night. No, everyone's sick. Yo, Jazzy, what's up? I'm not sick. If I sound like it, it's because I'm just hoarse from New York Comic Con. But that's fine, Glitter. Welcome. Ugh, I'm going to be going over some neat things I bought in New York. Yeah, he's a little squash spirit. I thought he was pretty cute. I figured today's kind of like a casual PJ party day. I'm wearing a PJ shirt. I didn't really do too much up here. Whatever. I'm still recovering, man. I'm tired. Oh, Osmo's her surname. Well, when we have two Elizas, though, what are you gonna want us to do? That's my problem. Hey, Zenko. How was New York Comic Con? It was really good. It was really good. As far as the con goes, as far as the city of New York goes, not a fan. I haven't been in the past, don't think I'll be in the future. I don't like cities, period, and that one is like the grossest city I've ever been to. So, I don't know, if any of you live there, mad props. You're awesome for sticking it out. But I know some people just like that ness of cities. I don't know what you'd even call it. The grit, I'll say.
City life.
Yeah, I know Sean, our buddy Sean, really digs it. Like, he loves Philadelphia. And as far as I know, it's kind of the same grit as New York, but...
Hey, just a quick
Eliza.
Just a quick heads up, guys. For any of you who don't have it, Mango Studio is 50% off right now.
And that's the one that has the stabilizer ink tool that I always freak out about. So if anybody wants really nice clean lines, like I used it for my entire coloring book. I'll show you what kind of lines you get. It's so good.
And what's great is $50. You get that for life. This isn't like a prescription.
Subscription.
It's not a prescription. Yeah, it's not a subscription. Really, and the Clip Studio Paint Pro is all you really need. The other one is just got extra stuff like I think animation, but you really don't need that stuff.
So if you look at this line quality, like this had a stabilizer on it, and it had a taper option on the brush, and like all these curves, you can't get these in Photoshop. Guarantee it, 100% you can't. Like, it's just way too good. It's so smooth. I love that program so much. Really, I do. So, highly suggest getting that if you, at any point, want to ink something very smoothly digitally, because it's got that stabilizer. Photoshop has a stabilizer, or what they're calling a stabilizer, that they added recently. It is not even close to this other one. So, since this is on sale, might as well, because I got mine actually when it went on sale a couple years back, and it was like $60 when I got it, and paid for itself already. So, you know.
Just be sure to hold on to that email if you get it, because that email is going to have the serial numbers on it, and I had to transfer mine from my old Mac to my newer PC, and then from my PC to my Apple, and yeah.
Gabe's in a chatting mode too.
Yeah.
So he might ramble a bit here and there. Hi, John Miller. Oh, it's been a while. Yeah, it does, Jazzy, you're right. Thanks, Shonda. It worked out great for a coloring book, for sure.
I don't think it usually goes on sale like 50% off, though. Sometimes it's like 25, 30, yeah, but...
So let's start today with my Inktober. So if anybody else is doing Inktober, Drawtober, whatever, I highly suggest you just go for it right now. Use this time. You're here, you're sitting there. If you're not already doing something else you need to, why not? Switch over. Real quick though, before I even start this book is a little weird. I'm on the fence about this one, but like I said, I'll figure it out in a minute. Okay, good ones and bad ones. When you have 100 of something, usually you're gonna have good and bad. So, when we were in New York, there were only a couple places that we can go there that are only there. Kremer's one of them, and it's a watercolor store. So I got a few watercolors here that I'll probably be using on stream next week just to show you the different swatches. But this is a nice yellowy green, I guess. It's somewhat of a green. This one's a really nice blush color. This one's a metallic. And I was really on the fence about watercolor, like metallic colors, because everybody I've seen has kind of used them wrong. So it never looks really good. You know, they don't use it really opaque or anything, so it just kind of looks like not metallic and really muddy. So I figured I'd try them for myself and kind of, you know, mess with them. This one's a cool pearlescent one that like is actually pearly on the paper, so that was really cool. And this is just a nice yellow, kind of rusty brown that I'll try. A lot of the time watercolors, when they're in pans, are super, what's the word? Deceiving. So a lot of the time, I know some of you have seen my palette. Gabe, can you go into my backpack here and get out my paint palette? Or just give me yours if it's nearby. Did you do the swatch sheet? Did you do a swatch sheet?
There's one in there.
There is?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, this is always a good idea, to make a swatch sheet for your colors, because sometimes they're not very indicative of what they actually are. These are pretty close. This one looks more brown than it is there. It's a lot more green in the actual, when it's dried. But, that's a nice palette, actually.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, that's really nice. So make your own one of those too every time you get watercolors, so you know what to anticipate when you use them. Sorry, I'm not sick. I'm just hoarse. Talk a lot at New York. Yeah, Kremer's great. And then I used to use these a lot more, probably 2 years ago, but these are Tombos. Tombos are water-based markers. So you always see me using alcohol-based markers on the show, but here we've got water-based. And water-based are really nice for when you don't really feel like getting crazy with your shading or anything. You just want to maybe have something cel-shaded. These are really good for that because, let's see if I can show this. They layer really good. So, you know, and you can smear them sometimes too, which is nice. But when you have it down, if you took another, if it was an alcohol marker and you took another one, you went over it, it's going to dry at the same level. It's not going to add to it. Where if it's water-based, it's going to add to it and actually darken it and act like a multiply layer in Photoshop. So that's a good thing about water-based markers. You have to know how to use them though. They can take a while to actually get used to. So I got myself a bunch of those new ones because my old ones are just kind of, I didn't know what I was doing. Now I do. And then Gabe found these and we both bought one. They're technically like a marker tip, but you can fill it with whatever you want. So I mean, you could use watercolor in here, you could use ink, whatever you want, and water it down. It's kind of neat. It's got a little push pump here. It's kind of like the water brushes, but it is a marker. like a marker tip. So it's like, I don't know. I'm excited to use that. Also, Fire Seal, thank you for the bits, and John Miller, thank you both. Appreciate that. And then I went back to getting a brush micron just to play with, not for any serious anything. Because usually the brush microns go to shit within like a month. So I got it knowing it wouldn't last very long. And then I got one of these Kuretake gold pens because I usually use the Jelly Roll pen, which has been great. I love it. And I wanted to actually see, after Gabe showed it to me, how good it could do in comparison. If it lets me shade similar to the Jelly Roll, I'll probably switch over because this seemed like it had a really nice opaque, I don't know, whatever you want to call it to it. But, yeah. How long did it take to get it flowing? It's a paint pen, right?
Oh, it'll take a while. I can work on it if you want in the interim.
Alright. Usually it's not that slow. Then I got a couple of my favorite brushes. These are filberts. I enjoy filberts. Which means they're basically round tipped, but they're flat brushes. I just like using them. I honestly don't know if I'm using them right.
Fun fact.
Huh?
You have to take this off, to remove this.
Oh, it
So it still takes some time, yeah.
Oh.
It sort of like pops that the
Cartridge?
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, these are usually my favorites to use. For some reason, I have the hardest time using a normal basic brush. I couldn't tell you why. I have no idea. For inking, it's okay, but for actually like painting, I enjoy round brushes. I don't know. I have no idea why. Hi, Mai. Hi, animals. Oh, thank you. Thanks for dropping in at least. And then when we were, let's see, still at Kremer, I got one of these. They're only 25 cents there. This is for if you want to take some fresh water out of your, cup or whatever, and then kind of start wetting one of your watercolors instead of using your brush. I don't know. It's one of those things you don't need, but I don't know, sometimes it helps. And then we got these colors. These are awesome. One's called Minnesota Pipeline Genuine, which I'm happy about because Minnesota Pride. Anyway, then this one is Serpentine Genuine. Both of these have like, Gabe was talking about yesterday having a blue that had a rust like oxide thing around it, like a little ring. These kind of do the same thing. So that's cool. The only problem is these are usually really hard to get a handle of, so they take a lot of practice to actually know how to predict what they're gonna do and use that to your advantage. So I'm excited for these, but I'm also scared of these, but I'm not gonna let that stop me. So
I actually think yours should be just a normal color.
I think it still has the rust edge.
No, not as much.
Okay. Well, we'll see when we try it next week. But I bet find a store with one of those. Yeah. So they had a whole thing of them in Kremer. So Jazzy, you do live around there, right? You could go there, right? She lived in New York, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, close enough.
Closer than us. How about that? Okay, so what else? Oh, then we went to Kinokuniya, which we've got one close to us, and by close I mean 3 hours away. But the one in New York seems to have a lot more stuff.
Yeah.
They have three levels to them. So on one of the levels is what we kind of call the anime floor, because it's basically all anime, except for one bookcase that's like indie artists. I call them indie artists. I don't know. I feel like they're independent, like Claire Wendling.
Yeah.
So I have one of her books already, but I grabbed another one.
Oh, they actually have a shelf of American comics too.
Yeah, but it's mainly manga.
No, because they have Oni and Marvel, and they have a tiny little section of actual American comics.
But I said it's mainly manga.
But yeah, and toys and.
See what I mean? He's crazy. So a lot of the stuff in her work is very fluid females. I honestly haven't seen many boys now that I think about it. They're usually all girls, and they're all like with tiny animals, which I really like. Usually it's with insects and birds. And she draws black-capped chickadees, which I appreciate, because they're like one of my favorite birds. But they're usually fae. Like this one's got a little dormouse on her head. I love it. So I enjoy looking at her stuff when I need to warm up because it's so loose and just, like I said, fluid. So she really inspires you to not think so much about, you know, perfection and everything. It's very loose and very raw, and I like that a lot. So I had to get that. And of course it's fantasy based. And then some of you know my sub-shrub, who will be replaced as soon as I get time to actually make a new one that's mine. But that's him. He's from a specific series where this guy is also from. It is this Sumiko Garashi. But apparently he's not such a big character because I was looking for him in this size. I would have loved to have him at this size, but we couldn't find him. So this guy's a little dinosaur. He's adorable. They're very expensive, but I can't find it anywhere else, you know. So I got him. Gabe got some manga that's in here. I also got this little desk vacuum. It's like this big. It's as big as my hand, and I got it for pencil shavings. Because usually you guys have seen me take this before, and I just kind of, you know, brush my surface here, but then they're still everywhere on my desk. That doesn't help anybody. So I figured I'd give that a shot. It's kind of funny. And then I got a stamp. Oh, and I still haven't opened my stickers. Got stickers from it. And then I got this funny hamster book. A lot of you know that I've got a hamster, and I love hamsters and rodents and all that. But there's this really cute handbook here, which I assume it's a how to take care of your hamster due to its content. But all of the drawings in here are amazing. Like, I laughed so hard at so many of these. Like, look at this little hunchback guy. It's so good. And there's one in here of like a hamster farting, which I've never seen in my life. I've had many hamsters and they never fart. But like how he's trying to get out and how they escape. And even though I can't read it, I don't need to. Like, it's too good. There's too many good things in here. Like, primarily they focus on the dwarf hams. Like, here's the fart one. Like, what is that? And then there's one like mine. At one part, they actually break down different hamster breeds, I guess. And you can see that one is definitely my ham, and it's very cute. So you can tell the difference. Oh, look at this one. Look at this precious one. He's drinking out of a bottle. This one, he's being a fatter. Oh my god. Yeah, there's a kukui. I actually brushed him with a toothbrush too, so I was happy to actually see I was right. But there's a little ham breakdown here somewhere. He's like, what is this? It looks like it's a straw thing. But I just flipped out at how adorable these are. I really do wish I could read it, but at the same time, I'm having fun. There's another one. It's so weird. Just looking at how they illustrated it. There's gotta be another one. It must be in the beginning, because it's read the other way.
Well, this is interesting.
What?
It's like somebody ate a bunch of gold.
What do you mean? Oh no. What's gonna happen?
We'll try it.
Does it ploop?
No. You'll see what I mean by somebody ate a bunch of gold.
Alright, so emphasis on the butt. That's great. But yeah, this one, that's definitely my ham. So this is too cute, and I had to get it. It's adorable. And I don't usually splurge on stuff, but I had done well at New York, and I was like, well, we're doing okay lately, so why not? And then Gabe kind of insisted I get some of these, which are just stickers, but they've got the sub-shrub. And he's finally in there. I like a pickle. Weird.
So is it? It's stickers.
He's in
right?
here, yeah, and there are stickers. Oh, he's got his little hat where he's dapper. Look at him go. Oh, and there's a bird. I didn't know there's a bird. I want to know so much about this. Oh, and there's stamps. Weird. I feel like there's a whole like mythos here that I'm not getting due to obviously cultural differences, but barriers and stuff. But I love it. Oh my god, I love it so much. This is great. And then I got a second one. He's in there because we were hoping we'd see more of him, and we did.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, these are great. I am probably most definitely not going to use these. Because I want to use it like an art book, I guess.
What? Oh, just to keep him and look at him.
He doesn't understand words I say.
I get it.
There's a Loch Ness. Oh, and it's the guy I bought. I gotta learn their names. Honestly, the weed that is the subshrub, he has his own name, and I always forget it, but it's really long. Oh, they're all dressed as chickens. That's adorable. I think one of them is actually like a shrimp. One of those shrimps you eat. I always forget what it's called.
Oh, cool.
I'm the worst. I'm just the worst. I'm sorry.
They got stickers of just pictures of the plushies.
Really?
Yeah. So they have.
Those are great. Do they have a subshop one?
Yeah, they got plenty.
Okay, so that's kind of what I got for you there. Let's see.
Did you get that puffball? That gray puffball?
What?
Did I get you one of these? I think I was gonna get you this little like dust mite.
No,
Okay.
you never got me that. Did you want to?
I was gonna.
Oh wow. Alright, this is the old version of my gourd guy. Let's see. Maybe I shouldn't do it on that one. Look for a picture that's messed up. Yeah, probably one of these. I'll do this one. Oh, it's green. Gabe.
Yeah.
This is not gold.
I know.
Why was it different when we tried the other one?
We didn't.
I remember this being actually... Oh, dear. Oh, no. Well, I'm not going to use this. Are you going to use this? Well, maybe I could use it for leaves.
Yeah.
That is not yellow.
I know, right?
That is very green.
That's what I said. It's like somebody ate a bunch of gold flakes.
Oh, my God. And this bubble that comes out?
Yeah.
Like...
Well, I think you're supposed to like squeeze it and then get a clump out, and then sort of push it around.
Oh, it was a bubble. This is ridiculous. Alright. Well, I'll have to figure that one out someday. That is very not the color they say it is. So, that's a thing.
Maybe gold is different to them.
I don't know. Kuritaki's usually good. It's just... You win some, you lose some. I don't know. It's a feature, not a bug. Yeah, that goes for anything. As long as you use it, you know, however you can. If you figure out a way to use it, yeah, then it's not a problem, is it? Alright, let's warm up with this. I'm probably just going to ink today. This is a spool book. I know it's a stretch on this one. I haven't even shown Gabe this. I figured it could be for... some sort of little person or something, and I mean like little, like 2 to 3 inch person, where they split a spool in half, keep their papers in there, and then wrap it up like a regular spool, so, and then lock it with the needle, but it'd be a pain in the ass to undo it. So it's like maybe keeping safe papers in there, I don't know. Hey Sarah, what's up? So, like I said, this one's a bit of a stretch, but when you have done like 100 books, you're gonna start getting low on ideas. So I have been struggling a little bit with my ideas, but not as bad as last year. Last year, I think I was really hurting for ideas. I think I even gave up the Inktober at the end and had to make it up later, but just because I couldn't think of any more books. And, you know, when you have kind of, what do you want to call it? A formula in your head for a series you're doing, you don't necessarily want to break that. So some time had to pass where I had to be okay with being like, okay, well, you know, if I need to get more, I'm gonna have to be more loose with my stipulations. I don't know, criteria. Oh, good, Shonda. Yeah, let us know how you like it. And if you can't find that stabilizer, here, I'll even show you real quick. Let me.
Okay. Sure.
I'll even show you. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. I'll bring up Clip Studio so I can show you where it is. Did anybody else grab it while it's on sale? Make sure it's on the other monitor. There we go. Okay. So, alright. Yeah, that's one of my backgrounds. So let's see. When you do new, I'm kind of far away from my tablet at the moment, but I'm just going to show you where it is. So if you click on, I think it was the pen tool. You go to the pen tool, and right here, see how it says stabilization? I've always got mine set to like 55. You can't even see it because it's off screen, but I've got it set to 55. And you can, you know, these are just 5 levels here if you don't want much. But if you want a lot, I do, like I said, I do 55, which it's basically you draw it and it's pulling the line. And at first it's kind of jarring and you don't know how to deal with it. But after you know, start playing with it for a while, you'll understand that you're like pulling the line and you get really used to it pretty quick. But yeah, it's really good. Here, I'm about a foot away from my tablet at the moment, so this is me being far away. But like how smooth this is, and like I was saying about you can have your pen pressure tilt if you want, but like the pen pressure, this is what I did for the coloring book, and it's just gorgeous. You know, like you cannot get those lines in Photoshop. You cannot. It's so good. I hope I never don't have this program. Double negatives! Okay, so let's get back to the traditional jump. I'm glad for you, Shonda. I'm excited for what you will make. Let's see. How's everybody else's weekend? I know it's Thursday and we're coming up on another weekend, but tell me how your last weekend was. I'm interested to know. My hand's a little shaky today and I don't know why, but gotta push through, even if you're having a shaky day. Dave, do you still have the headphone in?
No.
Was it well balanced with my voice and stuff?
Yeah.
How is our microphone still? Is it good? Yep.
Yeah.
Did you upload your new Inktober?
I did.
Do you want to throw in a link for anybody?
Oh, shit.
So Gabe just uploaded the ones he was doing on his stream yesterday.
I only did it. I only uploaded one of them.
Still. So he was working on that yesterday. If anybody wants to see that, he's gonna throw a link in.
Just I want to sort of stack them, just because.
No, that's fair. I would do them still today though. To catch
Oh
up.
yeah, no doubt.
And then I'm going to play with my weights a little bit here. So. chill weekend. That's good, Sarah. Chill is good. I miss chill. Oh no, fire seal. Do you eat before bed? Usually they say if you want better sleep that's not problematic because of food, try to stop eating 3 to 4 hours before bed, and then you won't get like indigestion and stuff, and lay on your left side because the gas can move better from your left side. On the right side it gets trapped, so be careful. Also, if anybody has a Switch, my friends just released their game yesterday on the Twitch. Sorry, on the Switch. Typing and talking, don't recommend it. It's called Joggernauts. And let me see if I can find it. Find y'all a link. But I'm very excited for them because I was kind of along for the whole journey, watching like them form their team, because they originally started working together because of a global game jam, and then after that they just realized, hey, we're a really good team, let's keep making games. So they did, and now they have a game on the Switch a couple years later. That's what happens. It's crazy.
Work your butt off.
Yeah, they do work their butts off. They're very determined, and they're really nice guys. Like, really, really nice.
Is it 2-player?
It's, I think, up to 4.
Oh.
Yeah. And it can be co-op, single player. But it's another one of those kind of anxiety games, like you gotta keep up. It's great, though. Like, it's a really cute idea.
I was gonna say we should get it, but yeah, anxiety.
Oh no, I want to support them.
Oh, yeah?
Get it. Absolutely. I'm just very proud of them.
Oh yeah, I remember this one.
Yeah, they did a great job. Tommy, who does the art direction, is fantastic, and Zach does a lot of the coding. He's a great guy. He's super smart. And now that I see them together, it makes sense why they work together. Like, after knowing them separately, and some of you may have had experience with this, where you've known a couple people separately, and when they finally, like, get together or, like, become friends, you're like, oh yeah, why didn't this happen before? This makes total sense. Actually, if you want to go charge the Switch, oh, it should be. I forgot that's not in my drawer anymore. It should be hooked up to, like, it should be fine. So I forgot that I took it out of my bedside drawer. Oh, sorry guys, I was off screen. Nerp. Yeah, Jazzy, right? It kind of didn't have much right away. And I feel like unless you were super into what they had released, it just was like, for some people. Or they didn't keep steady flow going of good games, so it's like people would get Mario Odyssey and then like Breath of the Wild and just blow through those, and then what is there? It was like a desert for a little bit of just no games. So just like you, I had some friends that sold theirs. We don't either, Fire Seal, but there was like I think there was a sale for them or something, and we were like, let's just get one.
Yeah.
We'll use it at some point, and we do.
You
once
know
in a while.
It's really weird that, like, I don't think I've held one of these for more than a minute.
Yeah, I don't think you have either.
Like, at all. And that's really weird
Other
for me.
than playing Overcooked? No. What game did we play with the kids?
It was Overcooked, but I mean...
No, that other game. That was like party games.
Oh, yeah. That was like the
kinda
first
fun.
initial game.
Hi, Laura. What's up?
But even then, it was just the Joy-Cons. Like,
Yeah.
I've never actually...
Held the system?
Yeah, and played it the way it's, like, built. And it's really weird because I've had, like, all the handhelds, like, day one... Not day one, but, like, within the first year.
Isn't that weird when you finally know you're kind of letting go of gamer culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm there too.
But I think the reason that I didn't get so engrossed in this one is because it is more a console.
Yeah.
And it, like if this thing was like half the size, I'd be all about it.
It is very big.
Yeah, but I can't put this in my pocket.
No, and it's hard for me too because I am more of a console gamer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's too much handheld for the console people, and it's wide for, I don't know. At least for me, I think it's about the size of my torso. So when I'm holding it, at least it's like shoulder width apart for me. For guys, though, it must be a little bit inward, you know. But that makes sense, Sarah. Same, Jazzy. Like, I have all the old systems, right? And I used to take a lot of pride in having them all. Now, I've outgrown that, and even outgrown the whole pop culture thing. So, like, these are part of my collection that I'm gonna sell at some point. These are like those little solar, their heads like Bob, when they're in front of the sun, and it's just like, I don't care about pop culture at all anymore. I would rather have a nondescript, like, generic leaf something that doesn't belong to any IP than something that does nowadays. I don't know why.
I think that's why we like little books and like
indie stuff.
Yeah, and like low print run like books
exclusive things.
Yeah, like these like
special things.
Like the little vinyl toys.
Yeah.
You know, like there's only like so many of those, and
I mean, it sounds super hipster and we know it, but really we're not coming from like a hipster attitude at all. We're not trying to be elitist or, you know, pretentious. We just are tired of mainstream being shoved down our throats, you know? And that's where conventions get difficult nowadays too, because that's all it is. And that's probably what contributed to us kind of eventually being turned off from it, really, because we see it all the time. And it's like too much. Oh no, yeah, Game Boy Colors are still great.
Oh my god.
I love the clamshells for the SP. Like, I love it still.
Honestly, like, for anybody who actually enjoys games, like Game Boy Advance is like one of the best systems like
if
ever.
It can hold up now, that's a system.
Yeah.
That is
like,
a good system.
They put out so much good, like RPGs, even like just regular games. They put out so many good games because they just knew how to produce things on that technology.
Yeah.
Like especially near the end, there was so much amazing stuff that came out that like it beats the hell out of half the shit that comes out like that's 3D.
The other thing is just now I feel like everything is so saturated with games.
Mm-hmm.
Like I read an article about this too, that there are too many games.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's oversaturated. It's not what it used to be in terms of like exclusivity and being able to hear like game announcements. Like even at a E3 maybe 10 years ago even, like hearing, oh okay, Xbox is coming out with 5 games. It's like, oh, okay, 5 games. Now, it's like 30 games and stuff, and you're like, I mean, I'll probably download like 15 demos, maybe? I don't know. Like, you know, and you're thinking about it, it's like, no one has time for this. It's like their demographic that they were geared towards has grown up to the point they can't play anymore. So no one can keep up with it, really. It's getting crazy.
And now you got games like that are just freemium.
Yeah, and so freemium ruined everything.
So now, like, if you do have just a console game, it's not even
full.
Yeah, like it's gotta be like I think what's it called? Horizon Dawn was like the last just full game that I've bought that was just a full game. There's just so little of those.
I'm happy Nintendo doesn't do that crap.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give them mad props for that. I saw this great image and it was a long time ago, which is so funny because the image was, pertinent for its time, but it's even more so now, where it showed, the Mona Lisa, and it was full. And then it showed, Van Gogh's Scream, and then it showed another one, and they were all like famous paintings, and it was like the full game, expansion 1, expansion 2, and it's like the full game's 60, the expansions were each 30, right? But now it had taken the Mona Lisa, split it up into a bunch of little pieces, and said that the raw one was 60, and that each of the extra ones was like another 60.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why? I don't know. It's crazy. Same here, Sniggle. It's like in the 40s. I had read somewhere it might actually snow tonight.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Here?
Yeah, it's sometime this week because it's gonna get down to 30s at night. Because right now it's 40, and we can only have the window open a little crack. But yeah, my hand's a little shaky today. But it's Inktober, gotta power through. Doesn't matter. Better to get it done than to not have gotten it done at all. Anybody see any good movies lately? There's still a couple I want to see. But I think at this point, since we're kind of late to the party, it's going to end up being like on home video or whatever. What?
Now on home video.
Yeah, right? VHS styles. Oh, shit. Oh, I love cheat codes, right? Those are so fun.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you were the guy if you knew the cheat codes. Like, I still remember Sonic's cheat codes from Sonic 1 on Sega. I still remember all that shit.
I don't know why they don't do that anymore.
Probably because nothing has, like, a good controller, simple controller for it. I don't know.
I'm gonna put... We need to go see Venom. Got to go see Venom.
No!
They have
I'm
a
not
Goosebumps.
gonna see Venom.
They have another Goosebumps movies.
Yeah, we've seen the trailer for it.
I don't remember that.
We went and saw Christopher Robin, and there was a trailer for it.
I do not remember that. I thought it was something else. I thought it was that one with Jack Black.
Isn't he in the Goosebumps one too?
He was in the first one.
Oh, never mind. I don't even remember anymore. Oh, she's got a Venom emoji.
Oh, we should go see Motherfuckers.
Oh, that was the one, the animated one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked cool. All right, Eliza, see you in a bit. All right, let's see. All right. Also, I said it on my Instagram, but I'm gonna say it here too. I have free tickets for FairyCon. If anybody's in the Baltimore area or whatever, I've got passes. And they gave me a ton, so there's no way I'm really running out of these. So if anybody is interested, it's in Baltimore. It's this one specifically is for Friday or Sunday for the free day pass, or you can get $20 off a weekend one. But Friday or Sunday ends up being the 9th or the 11th of November. So if you're in that area and you have nothing to do during that time, I will be there, Gabe will be there. Hopefully he'll be dressed as some kind of imp or something. I'm working on it. Anyway, we'll be there selling our wares like we do. So you can come see us at the very least. Otherwise, they have really cool stuff. Like a lot of my favorite medieval bands will be there. Toby and Wendy Froud will be there, the son and wife of Brian Froud, who are both great artists in their own right. And then Corey Godby is the guest of honor. What else? Oh, they have these masquerades too every night. And then they have a good fairy day and a bad fairy day. So one day everybody dresses as good fairies. The next time people can dress as bad fairies. It's kind of cute. very different than a normal convention, which I'm looking forward to. So there are these. All you gotta do, send me a message or an email, anything, and just say, I'm interested. How do I do it? I'll give you as many as you want. They gave me a stack like this. So if you want one, make it rain, you know? Alright, bye, Glitter. Is it crazy to ask for days off 6 months in advance? I don't think so. I think they'd actually appreciate that, Snig.
I think also you gotta remind them, like, 2 months and then 1 month and then the week before.
Yeah, just remember to remind them. But if you tell them, they should write it down, you know, so you shouldn't have to do it too much. But bye, Fire Seal. Thanks for coming. He is so nice, isn't he, Jazzy? Like, he bought my coloring book at Heroes. I got to talk to him a bit. I've ran into him at a few cons, and he's always just the nicest guy. Him and David Peterson are just super nice. Honestly, I think it's pretty rare you meet a convention artist that's kind of a douchebag. Because the majority of them, you know, they know what everybody's going through, at least at the con. So if they come up to you, they know it's been crazy or, you know, what have you. So, yeah, usually everybody's really cool. Trying to think if there were any other crazy stories from the con. The only one I can think of is that there's this big burly New Yorker guy who came up and was asking me about the pet commissions, and I gave him my spiel. I explained how it worked, all that sort of stuff, and he's like, okay, good, because I've got like 4 sugar gliders and they're amazing. And I was like, okay, so you have a late job then, I'm guessing, since they're nocturnal? He's like, yes, I work late nights, they're my buddies, they're my little guys. And he made this motion, like I always hug him. I've got him in my hands all the time like this. And I just pictured this guy. He looked like a mix of what I say. Mikey from Kimmy Schmidt, Titus's boyfriend, and Joey from Friends. And he was just this little rounded man on 2 little, like, stocky legs, and he was just acting like he's cuddling sugar gliders, and I just lost my shit. I thought this is the cutest thing. That was one of the only things that stuck out, though. The whole weekend was a blur, and I'm finding the more that I do New York Comic Con, it always is a blur. I can't really remember anything from the other 2 times I went. I really can't.
Yeah.
Like,
you're just so busy the whole time, you forget.
it is. Unlike other conventions where during the day you kind of have lulls and you can sit and kind of reflect on, okay, so this already happened. It's like, it's your brain's kind of condensing what just happened and finding, like, you know, the little perks in whatever just happened, right? But since this is go, 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 by the end of the day, you only pick out the things that are, like, really standoutish, you know? But by the end of the 4 days, you're just kind of, you know, and nothing really stands out anymore. I did get a few, 2 fans that came up to me, and I got my first actual, like, gift packs. And I got to meet Jazzy, which was awesome. Gabe and I got to meet Jazzy, and she's the nicest, sweetest thing. And Jazzy, if you want to put in your Instagram stuff, if you feel comfortable, go for it. But we also met Puka's Pencils, if you want to put in her thing. She's great. She was helping her sister at her booth, and she gave me, like, this really cute ceramic thing her and her sister made, and then she drew me this guy, and I love it. It was so sweet.
I don't remember her thing.
It's like Puccas pencils. But it was just really nice of her. She came over and said thank you, and that was really cool. That really hasn't happened to me like this before. And then another Fran, that came up to me. I met her 2 years ago at the first time that I showed at New York, and she brought me, like, a gift, just basket sort of thing. It had, like, a postcard she wrote some nice stuff on the back of. She brought me a chocolate bar. Who's gonna say no to a chocolate bar? And it was a amazing. It was like salted caramel chocolate bar. I know, it was really good. And then she gave me a sketchbook that had a really cool cover on it, and then she bought me an actual book, like a novel, really, really thick. It's like a fantasy novel, and it has this cool thing where you can download an app, and it has songs and music and things to play while you're reading the book. So that was really cool. That was really next level. And then the next day she brought me a biscuit that had butter and jelly, and it was amazing. She was so sweet. I love her. I've got a picture of her actually here. She's like, it's weird to think I actually have fans. I don't know. Gabe, does that ever hit you?
Yeah, it is kind of weird, like when people come up. It's more so when people come up and you don't know that they know you.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay.
That is weird. It's like, oh, neat. Like, we forget that, our bubble kind of expands out. Oh, let's see, where does she go? So this is her. Her name is Alice. She's a sweetheart, and I ended up giving her a pen because she had done so much for me, but she's so sweet. I just love her. She's the nicest girl ever. And then, let's see, what else? John Leguizamo was behind me, and I found out a lot of people don't even know who John Leguizamo is. If you don't know who John Leguizamo is, shame on you. Shame on you. He's an 80s staple. Great guy, but he was right behind me the whole time. It was really weird. It's like he's right there. I don't know. Anyway. And then one of my first pet commissions people came up. That was one of the first ones I did. Probably in the first 10 I've ever done. So it's a little rough. Not to be punny, but... And here was the biscuit. That was really good. It was really damn good. And then this guy came up who had a pin-like shawl. Some people put pins on their lanyards. This guy came up and he had a scarf that was just jacked with pins. And there were a couple, like this one, there's an avocado cat. Sorry, Gabe. I took a picture of this, and there's a taco cat. But they're from the Exploding Kittens thing. Here. I forgot to show you this. But yeah, it's an avocado cat.
That's great.
But, yeah, those are from the Exploding Kittens guys. This kid came up and wanted a sketchbook commission. So I gave him one. He's very cute, very sweet. I think he was younger. He looked like he was under 20 for sure. You get a lot of those. And then I met Clover Puff, who has the cutest original pen designs. Like, look her up on everything. She's so good. That was me and her. She was a sweetheart. She had fangs in. It was really cute. But her designs are fantastic. Like, this little red panda she had. Like, he swings. And the tail on this fox swings. I love it. They're so good. And then there's this Swamp Man, Moss Man thing. I don't know. He just went all out, and it was crazy. I can't even tell what all is in here, but he looked great. Like, he did a really good job on his helmet and stuff. And then for you guys, I had taken a, like, in progress how I set up my table, and I just haven't posted in Discord yet, but it's just a gif of how I put up my table, and now I'm looking at it, it looks really busy. But oh well, that's what happens. 6-foot tables are really a lot smaller than you think. And then I sold, for those of you who watched me make this one, he sold. It's always sad to see them go, but she seemed to really like him, so I was very, very happy about that. But yeah. So those, I think, are more my highlights. I guess I took pictures of them. What do you mean, Jazzy? Table progress photos. Oh, cute, Jazzy. You chickened out with David. I usually just tell people that I admire when I meet them, like, what they've done for me. They seem to appreciate, and immediately you're starting off on, like, a positive foot, you know? And they hear it all the time, but at least it's better than just, you know, how's it going? You know?
Oh, great stuff.
It's crazy.
They even appreciate more if you buy things from them.
Yeah, but don't feel like you have to.
No.
I mean, if you're just going up to get something signed, that's fine. Don't. And someone, like, must have been just asking for tons of money or something from people for autographs that wasn't, like, a famous person, because everybody that came up to me that wanted a signature, they're like, okay, but how much is it? I'm like, it's free. It's a free signature.
Well, there are people who do ask because...
But it's... I get it for the famous people.
Yeah.
But I asked them, I'm like, was it a famous person that you asked to do it? And they're like, no, they're still, like, small time, but they wanted, money for their signatures.
Wow.
I'm like, that's not right. Until they get to the level where they'd have a huge line. Because how I see it is, you're charging so that you kind of weed out the people that, aren't willing to wait for that, and when you get that big, it makes sense. But when you're small time, it doesn't make much sense, honestly. So, it's kind of weird. I don't know. But yeah, of course my things are, free. I just thought that was weird. What did I do? I was seated next to someone, though, that was selling a lot of fan art. It was basically 99% fan art. And she was taking famous paintings and mashing them up with pop culture. And I got really mad at one point, and I put up a fan art as a legal thing on my booth, like, probably twice. Every time she'd get a line... I know it's poor taste, and I ended up taking it down both times because I realized that, but at the same time, I'm just so absolutely angry about it. That it's like all the money she's getting is just stolen money. Thank you, Jazzy. I appreciate that. Right, Sniggle? That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, if you're small time, it's like, what? I mean, I see it as, a way to mitigate when you're big time. And I think it's merited, But when you're the little guy, I don't see that as a fake it till you make it scenario. That just seems like a douche move. But that's, that's my opinion on that. And really, you don't see that at other cons with, like, little guys. It's just like the big cons where the little ones try to, like, squeeze out more money from people. And it's like, that's not how we roll. Like, Gabe's even, like, been published for years and he doesn't charge for a signature. It's like, and he's probably not gonna. Not until he ever, like, if he blows up. But for right now, no. I mean, he still draws in people's stuff for free. Like, the fact you do that is crazy. And it's probably only because you can do it quickly, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Because if he didn't do it as quickly as he does, I'm sure. No. I really do try to, Jazzy, because in these sort of situations, standing out is extremely important. Especially when everybody's selling fan art, you gotta stand out somehow. So if you can do it via your presentation, that's another thing. I know some people do it by doing, like, live painting and stuff like that, and that's really cool too. Anything to kind of grab attention and be like, hey, I'm not just another one of the, fan art print towers sort of thing. But apparently you sound giddy to people.
What?
I don't know. He's had coffee, but he's kind of holding himself back.
Oh no, I'm also doing research right now.
For what? Buttons?
No. I actually put out feelers on Facebook for a button machine.
Okay.
A button machine. But no, I'm looking into, like, fabric display things. Like what is it called?
Silk screen?
No, like this.
Banner?
Banner, yeah, because they have fabric ones and I don't know, they look better to me.
Well, thanks, Jazzy. Yeah, a lot of the banners, that sea of banners scenario, I don't know. When did that start happening? Just when the big names started doing it, everybody's like, oh, I need a banner.
Banners? Well, it started...
Butt cheek machine.
I think because it wasn't... it wasn't affordable. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Because they used to be like $300 or something. And then I think some Chinese people on eBay got a wind of it, and then like the only way to do it was to go on eBay and order one.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
how
it,
we did it.
yeah, then it was like $100, 130, whatever. So then everybody could afford one. And now I think the next level is gonna be, well, now you've got people buying the photo light rigging like Ashley and I do, and Tim and everybody, where you have two stands and then you put like, you know, you drape cloth over it so you have a nice background, or a, you know.
I still notice even though people know they can do that, they don't go through the work of designing or doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, they can be jazzy. Sometimes they blur together though, especially when it's in a big artist alley. They just, you know, I think what's cool though is what like some of the companies are doing, like Essential Sequential. Those are all the banners that were purple.
Oh yeah.
I feel like they should do that for, like, if somehow they could denote if you were a licensed, approved artist.
Every single person there is licensed.
No. I mean, across the artist alley. Like, if they could give out badges that says, okay, your stuff is actually legal.
Yeah.
You know, so that you know as a consumer when you go up to someone's table if they're selling illegal stuff. So that if you don't want to partake in that or support that, you don't have to.
You know what I came to realize though, that this weekend, is that the people that have the right to do those things,
They don't?
No, the people who have the right to, you know, to sell fan art,
Yeah.
don't.
That's what I just said.
Did you? And if they do, they'll do like a very limited print run of something, and then the following year maybe they'll do something else that's
It's
very
because they
exclusive.
have more aspirations than that.
Yeah.
And they're not money hungry.
Exactly. So when you see people who have like
tons and tons of fans.
yeah, they are definitely have never worked in the industry. Yeah. Typically speaking, like 99% of them have never worked in the industry.
Oh, that's a very good point.
But I love that, like, Essential Sequential, they're the first ones who started doing that.
Yeah,
where they
it's
just
cool as hell.
Yeah, I think they started that like 2 years ago, and you spot them right away. Mm-hmm. So you know exactly. Like,
I think your crew was doing that though too. Like, not Court, but like Brian.
Yeah,
Brian's people, they all had the same banner.
Splash art.
But different names. And it's great because you can tell an entire group by that. It's so smart.
And so that group is, it's run by one art dealer, and he sells all of their...
It's like Court.
Yeah, all of their original art, and all of their, like, if you want a commission, you talk to this one dude, and he gives you a breakdown of what each artist is willing to do, and for what prices.
Yeah, it's really cool. That's really helpful.
Basically, he's an agent.
Yeah, I mean, some of the bigger people need that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But I've seen some bad situations where, like, Tim, you know?
Tim Sale?
Yeah. Like, there was some guy just trying to, like, go up to him and, you know, say hi, you know, just, like, thank him, you know, for all his work and all that.
Yeah.
And the dude's like, excuse me, you can't talk to him.
Really?
Yeah, he's busy, he's not talking to anyone.
Oh.
And Tim was like, no, it's all right, it's okay.
Dude.
Yeah, because he was sitting there doing commissions, and he's like, no, it's all right if he just wants to say hi. But if he is working on commissions and people keep coming up, because people just will keep coming up and having you sign shit.
That's why I say no commissions at cons, man.
Yeah.
Take them and then ship them to people. Like, that's way smarter. I don't know. That's my opinion, though. I know it's not a popular one.
$180. 3-foot banner.
We need to talk more about, your setup, I think, before you.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna drop another.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think next conventions that I keep doing are definitely going to be are gonna be a lot less background stuff. I'm not gonna do prints anymore.
Yeah, I don't think you need to.
Because the bless you.
Sorry.
The box of prints that I've got in there can make room for X amount of more extra books.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that. I think I even mentioned that.
Yeah. Because I mean, I sold one print at New York. One goddamn print.
Which, if you are testing anything at New York, you're gonna learn a lot from it. So I only sold one of the King of the Castle, so I'm taking that off.
Yeah.
I'm taking that down. I'm taking my Raven down. However, for FairyCon, I might bring them. But for everywhere else, no, not anymore. I'm only gonna have some of my prints you can get online because the people who want them probably still exist, but they're not at the conventions for some reason. So I'll have some that are exclusive to online and then some that aren't.
What the?
Yeah, I'm probably getting rid of that Raven. He's cool and everything. It's just he appeals to a very specific group, which depending on what convention you go to, they might not even be there.
Well, the nice thing about bigger shows like that is that they usually have vendors that sell like the really hard plastic protectors.
Top loaders.
Yeah, you can get those for your prints.
The problem is a lot of us can't literally afford to have backing boards for prints.
Mm-hmm.
So Jazzy, you probably saw I gave sleeves and I ended up running out. I give sleeves for prints, but for the original art, it needs a backing board. So those, at least with how I price the original art, I'm, a fraction of it is taken out for what it's actually packaged in. Where prints are so much cheaper that, this was heartbreaking. So sometimes you'll sell a print, and if you're not the type to sign it, which I'm not after I had a huge thing with this one guy that was like, no, don't sign it. Anyway, I don't sign it unless people ask now. Plus, it has some exclusivity to it then, because not all of them are signed. If you sign everything, then nothing's special, right? So anyway, I don't sign them unless people ask. So she bought the print, she walked away. Next day, she came back with it, and I was like, oh, I really wanted you to sign this. I'm sorry I didn't ask. I was like, oh yeah, that's totally fine. And I told her why I wait to sign it and all this stuff. But when she gave it back to me, it was already mangled.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, damn. And then after I signed it, I saw her just shove it back into her bag. And I was like, oh my god. The people with the tubes, though, Jazzy, if you get a lot of prints, you might want to invest in one of those tubes. They usually have a strap, and there's a tube. It's clear, usually a color, and people just roll up their prints and put them in this tube. It's so brilliant. It's way better than actually just carrying them around normal. And it saves on sleeves. Like, you can tell us, oh, I don't need a sleeve, I'm just going to put it in the tube.
Mm-hmm.
And that saves money all around for everybody. So, yeah. The tubes. Definitely, if any of you are con goers, you get a lot of prints, get a tube. Seriously. They're great. And no, I'm not sick. I just don't know. I think the allergy thing, because of the season change, it's just got me hoarse and stuff. And I'm drinking like super sour, tart apple cider, so that's not helping. Right, Snake. But what if you get something that's like 13 by 19, 11 by 17, or tall? You know? Oh yeah, the rolling's fine, especially with how big the tubes are. That really won't roll it too bad.
Yeah.
Honestly, you get home, you just put it underneath some stuff. Next day, they're fine. Rolling is way better than just having them straight. And like the problem with having them just, you know, normal in like a bag or a sleeve or something is because of all those like crowds. If you accidentally rub too close to somebody, immediately that's a dent, you know? And if you really covet your prints and stuff, it's just a bad thing, you know? It sucks. And then I was worried, oh, Sniggle. Oh no. Yeah, we probably broke it, didn't we? Snake, how's work been? You been okay? Has it been alright? I'm gonna make it dark, actually. Or the beepers back. No, they're not the guy from yesterday. I even forgot what his horn sounded like. But no, these are just regular horns. What did that horn sound like? Do you remember? That was crazy.
It was really awful.
It was obnoxious. I'm sorry you got sick, Sniggle. You applied to a con in March. Which one?
Oh.
Which one? Good for you. That means you gotta bust your balls, though. Get ready for that. It's gonna come up quick. Start now. I would have maybe like 4 prints at least. Have a few originals. You know? What else? I would say like 4 prints and then just as many originals as you can pump out, and, you know, put a couple in frames, put the rest in backing boards. Yeah, you best be busting. That's great though, Snig. Proud of you.
Stephen Russell Black.
What?
You know Stephen Russell Black?
No. Who's that?
He does some really nice work.
Why are you bringing him up? What happened?
He just shot me a message about like a really good button maker.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know who he is though.
He does a lot of like black and white work,
Oh.
but it's like really cool.
Who does he work for?
Oh, he's like a spectrum artist.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have I met him?
I don't think so.
Sad we didn't get to really touch base with any of our normal people we'd cross paths with. Like Naomi was there. You know, I didn't get to talk to Corey at all. But it was crazy. Like, you really have to bring someone to those conventions so you can walk around. Tim was only there 2 days? I think he was only there Thursday and Friday, and then Kat took over his table for him. She did a great job. She's a really, really good worker when it comes to being a salesperson. She's so chipper, damn it. It's crazy.
I love mangled English, like mangled like Asian English.
Why?
It's just so like
Give
so
us-
to the point, and like you understand it immediately. You know,
What? Tell.
small volume, easy to storage.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I know what
Mhm.
they're talking about. Which con, Sniggle? Better not be a Wizard World. That's all I gotta say about that. Otherwise, you're gonna go mental over how much is there. If you know what I mean. Also, hi May Fox. I didn't know you came in.
Hey, Fox.
Welcome, welcome. Oh, NakaCon, that one you told us about. Is that what?
Sorry.
What?
The way you said it sounded like Nako.
NakaCon.
I know, it's just a Nako is like a derogatory term in Spanish.
Oh, you'll have to explain that to me later. 25k is good. I almost wonder if that's too big for a first one, but you should be fine. You've shadowed us enough to where you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing.
Is basically like, it means like white trash. Not white trash, but just trash people. You know, like Mexican trash.
Oh, you're talking about the word.
Nako, yeah.
Okay, it's
Sorry.
been some time to where
Uh-huh.
I was talking about we were talking about how many people are there, and you said it's like white trash.
It's like white trash.
And
Everyone
it's like,
there.
Gabe, are you calling all the attendees white trash?
It's in Kansas City. It's gotta be. No, I'm kidding.
You are okay. So Gabe right now is high on like cold medication because he's sick, but he's also got coffee, so he's incoherently hyper.
Raw.
So he's gonna say things that are really messed up. So that's why I keep getting frustrated trying to make sense of what he's saying. So apologies in advance. He's out of it. It's like he's
Hey.
drunk, but not.
25k is nothing to scoff at, though. That's not bad.
No, they're not trash. Don't blanket groups of people. It'll lead to Trump. You'll become a Trumper. Alright, so that was that. Let's go on to the next thing here. I'm actually not going to do this one final, like, on this paper, but I figure if I'm going to do it anyway, I might as well have, like, 2 versions to sell. So I'll sell this one, but I'll also sell the actual one I paint and do. So we've got that. I'm going to get some washi tape here, because this shit is great. I recently, like, jumped the washi train. I love it. Washi tape is amazing. No! Oh, don't call people trash. Gabe, this is your fault. Don't call people trash. Okay, this is me coming back from New York after I've seen a ton of people that are homeless, and me walking next to them, dressed as an elf with a coffee drink in my hand. I felt like an asshole every single day. Seriously, there's this huge amount of guilt. Like, I don't know. I mean, I looked probably rich or something, but I'm not. But, I mean, richer than them, but I feel bad. And then calling someone trash after I've just seen these people, I feel so bad. I don't know, man. It's super sad.
No, but it's Kansas City, though.
Gabe, it doesn't matter. You're blanketing.
Oh, it's an anime con.
So what do you plan to have for it then, Snake?
Are you sure you want to go to that con?
He said he's gone to it before.
Oh.
He knows what to expect.
Alright.
Thank you, Snaggle. All the salt. Polished perspective is almost dead. See, and of course, after doing my book, my hand's all warmed up now, so there's not as much shakiness. It's just how it is. Also, Bunny, props to you. You've been killing the game yet again. Your Inktobers are so amazing, dude. And seriously, like, please make a book this year, please. I would like to purchase it and pimp you as much as I can. I missed your work. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for your loose change, Snaggle. Also, what's 6 months in advance? Is that... Oh, that's probably why you asked. Nakagon. Right? That makes sense. Actually, Sniggle, if you don't have Clip Studio, you should probably get it. Especially if you're gearing up for a con. I think it could do you some good. And this is his butt leaf. He has a leaf for a tail. I know it doesn't look like it, but that's what it is. So we're going in tomorrow to sign our lease for our new apartment we're moving to. And yesterday, and we talked about this on Gabe's stream, but we had a lady come in to see our apartment, you know, because she's gonna probably be moving into it. And she was the most eccentric old lady I have ever met, I think. Like, she was, I'd say, a couple ounces legitimately crazy. I mean, she was into a lot of the same stuff I am, funny enough. She was super into, like, hamsters. She loved all of our plushie collection, you know, and it's kind of weird because, you know, whenever somebody new comes over, we're like, well, you know, we don't have kids, so I know this could look weird, but I promise you it's not weird because we've got a bunch of plushies, and, you know, they're always like, oh, no, it's really fun. I'm like, what does that mean? But she loved it and was like rambling, and I mean rambling, sometimes even incoherently, where I couldn't even understand what she was talking about, but all the things that she liked and was into, and she was talking about like her either alive or dead dogs. We couldn't figure that out still, and she was just all over the place. Like, she would make her own tangents in her head that we didn't even understand where she was like getting these things. Like, she would start talking about something else that, like, cued her from something previous, and she just kept going, man. It was crazy. It was kind of exhausting, actually. Like, you were trying to keep up with her, but she was just all over the place. A few books of some kind. I probably want to throw together sketchbooks, some originals. I mean, a sketchbook's pretty ambitious. That's why I was saying just have at least a couple prints and some originals, but if you can actually pump out a sketchbook, I guess even if it's a zine, that'd be awesome. I mean, really. Yeah, he has a butt leaf. When are we moving? November 28th. Like 2 days after our 3-year anniversary. So that's how we're gonna, you know, I guess celebrate by moving. Serenity! Thank you for the host. Or not host, sorry. Subscription. I'm out of it too. Here's Sub Shrub. Until I get my new one. Which may be next year sometime, hopefully. We'll see. But thank you, Serenity. You get 11 nub rubs and a wish. Are you ready? Are you ready, Serenity? You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Thank you, Serenity. You're almost to a year, and then you get a commission. So, little ATC size one. And for those that were on the stream before we left, where I made the new emojis, hopefully within the next couple weeks. I'm still already gearing up for FairyCon I'm trying to make at least one new print. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, how do you know when to make a print out of a piece of art? So that's tough. Usually, like this one, I like enough to where I think next year it's going to be my new free print. So Jazzy, I probably gave you that turtle print, right? So that's my free print for this year. And every year I give a new print out. So this will probably be next year's, if not the Owl Island. I'm between the two. I think Owl Island might actually be a legit print. But you can gauge it off of like Instagram likes if you want, but that can be hit and miss too. Honestly, it's a trial and error thing. And that's why I was saying about if you bring some prints to New York Comic Con and a couple only sell 1 or 2, but your other ones sell a lot, obviously the lower ones probably aren't that popular and maybe you should get rid of them. But you can't take it to heart at all because you might still like them, and as long as you like them, who cares? But I sold one of just 2 of different kinds, and it's like, okay, so I'm not gonna sell those anymore probably. But you should always be making enough art to where you can swap it out easy enough. So the next con, like if I try out, I was gonna make another print, if I try that one out, and then depending on the type of con too, so like my stuff will probably do pretty okay at FairyCon, but when I go to a normal convention, it can be up in the air. So usually I would judge a print by maybe 3 cons, something like that, and kind of put them together and be like, okay, well, from what I remember, these are the type of people that bought them. Is it good at this price? Like, I recently actually raised my prices for my prints because I looked at my competition and I was like, well, for the other people I know with prints that are my size that I sell at my smallest in grayscale, they were charging like $20. I'm like, mine are full color, if not bigger than that, and I was doing it for 15. So it's like, okay, well, I can raise it for that, and that really does help with being able to like ship some things like that. But when gauging a print, at first it comes down to you, and if you believe in it, you think it could do well, and try it. It's really like your table is a living thing. I'd even say your online shop too, where you're going to take things down, you're going to put things up, you're going to have bestsellers that stay bestsellers for years. That's my owl print. I don't know. It's one of those things. What's funny is one of the ones I'm actually retiring because no one buys it at shows got the most likes I've had in a long time on Instagram. It's the weirdest thing, and I've brought it to probably 6 cons. Not many people like it, and it's weird because, like I said, online it got a ton of likes, and oh well, that one just doesn't sell well at cons. I'll put it online for those people that seem to have liked it, but you only have limited space at your table and in your luggage, so you want to make sure what you're bringing is the best of the best, so because things, man, paper adds up.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Heavy.
That's cool though, Snaggle. Yeah, sometimes things are crazy. Like FairyCon apparently had been closed even, and I applied and they wanted me in. So sometimes that happens. You get a fluke. But yeah, Jazzy, you just gotta try stuff, honestly. And what I would say though is try not to judge it by how it does online wise, because actually getting the online store rolling is a beast. Like, it's really hard to actually do that. It takes years. It's very grindy. Selling at shows is so much easier than trying to sell online. Really, it is.
Impulse.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, Jazzy, no. So that was me probably 4 years ago when I didn't know where to get prints done or anything like that. It's funny because the print that I had done, basically the exact same thing as you, I made 10 copies. No one bought any of them. And now it's one of my best sellers, which is weird because, like I said, I had tried to sell it online. No one wanted it. But then when I sell it in person, it's a thing. So, I don't know. It's really weird. I think sometimes for people it's a place and, a time sensitive thing. I don't know. So you don't lose hope. And you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna make so many prints that, you know, keep swapping them out, keep trying things. You'll eventually start seeing a trend. I mean, it's basically like doing any sort of science experiment. You have to get enough data to actually start assessing, you know, what's working and what's not. If you're not getting enough prints out there, you're not going to have a good gauge of what's actually doing well and what's not. So... Oh man, art shows. So I would almost say to try to get into a con rather than an art show. Art shows are, I don't know how to put it, fickle?
It's like only elderly people go to them.
Yeah, art shows are very strange. And honestly, you can't make a lot of money at them usually. So if you've got like a little con or something in the area, I would almost say to apply for that instead of an actual art show. The one art show I did, I bombed it. Like it was not good. It was awful. We didn't even make back what, you know, we didn't break even. Like the money it took to get there, it didn't even come back to me. And this was in Iowa, so, I mean, I feel like it should have been easy to make it back because nothing was very expensive. It's not like going to New York, you know, and I still didn't make it back, so that was kind of a red flag for me to stop doing art shows. But I mean, maybe you have a good one in your area. Maybe if it's got like college kids or something, I could see that maybe being better. But yeah, the one I went to was like at a garden, so a lot of the attendees were elderly, where I had to explain what D&D was, you know? And when I have to explain that, usually that's not a good sign. So that was not my demographic, funny enough. But yeah, I would say it depends on where it is. Weirdly archaic. Yeah, they definitely can. Ooh, Connecticut Con. Yeah, go for that. That sounds solid. I've heard lots of good things about Boston Comic Con too. Is that what it's called? Gabe?
I have no idea.
The one Trevor always goes to?
Oh, Baltimore?
No, Boston. Anime Boston? I don't remember what it's called.
Oh, yeah, I think it's...
But a lot of people have said good things about that one. For us, it's a little bit out of the way, but if you already live kind of over there, it might be alright. I don't know. Might be worth checking out at least. Really, Serenity? I'd think in Germany they'd have probably pretty okay art shows, actually. But maybe not. I don't know. I feel like you guys respect art more than America. I don't know. weird. This music always cuts out on Spotify. Very strange. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
I think art shows can be weird too, just because they already, like, some of them have a demographic or following for that particular region that they're loyal to. You know, like, depending on how into art that community is, they might have like a little art clique already. Like, I know Minnesota's a little bit like that. Like, we have a light gray art lab gallery where, you know, you can apply to be in the shows and stuff, but there's already kind of this established culture they've got going on. And, like, you know, some regulars that they keep putting in, things like that. So, I mean, depending on where you go, it can be kind of like that. I'm still really tired from the show. I don't know how. I pushed myself, I think, a little bit too hard this time. Oh, you mean like a gallery show, Serenity? Like at an actual gallery? Yeah, those here usually need like actual invites. But if it's just an art show, it's kind of like low-key, just whoever wants to be in it can apply. Oh, good, Serenity. That's really cool. What kind of headphones are they? Oh. I was gonna use this as my new print, but maybe I shouldn't since it is kind of too Halloween themed. It's a little too specific. I think I would do the Owl Island one first, probably. Okay, let's see. What else can we do? See what other kind of... No, it's kind of gone. What other kind of books I got? Maybe I can draw another one. Hi, Sammy!
Sammy Smalls?
Yeah, we met Sammy
yeah.
at New York too. She is a joy. He is a little squash spirit. I imagine he kind of haunts squash farms. Someone just invited me to a geek gallery.
Mm-hmm.
Which, when they say geek, that makes me think it's fan art.
Yeah.
And actually, I had another TeePublic person come at me,
Oh.
and I said, I'm going to decline because I can't support, the way you guys do business with infringing on, licenses and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I made sure, and I gave her the website even.
Yeah.
Like, because that's not okay.
Yeah, she came to my table too, but...
Not my table, she wrote me an email.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, she came to my table and she asked, she had emailed me before and she's like, hey, can I bring you some snacks and some coffee?
Mm-hmm.
She brought me some snacks, but no coffee. And I think she had meant to talk to me, but I don't know, maybe she, I don't know. No idea.
She's probably busy. It's weird though.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Eliza. Oh, Bluetooth headphones. That's good, Serenity. Sammy said hi, Gabe.
Hello.
So, I'll let you guys choose, actually, because I don't really care which one. But, would you rather I do a puzzle piece book, this one would be tough, a book that grows its pages, or a shoe book? So the shoe book, I was thinking, would be like, either the pages could be in the sole of the shoe, and it could just be like hidden, like you could hide documents and stuff in it. They'd be shaped like the shoe, but it'd be ridiculous. And or having them be in the tongue of the shoe. I told you, you start running out of ideas, it's crazy. I've also got an aquarium book and stuff I'm thinking about, but I want to think more on those. I might just do the puzzle piece book, though. That sounds easy. So, Sammy, it's kind of crazy. So the book would be like a plot of dirt, like a square little contained thing of dirt. That there's a lot of magic involved in this one, where the moss and stuff it would grow would actually either have the language written out without the moss, or written in it with like flowers or something, but like you'd have to, grow it out, see what it says, get rid of it, grow out another page, and to like, it'd be like how you, I guess, communicate with the earth in a way. It was what I was kind of thinking. I don't know, that was my loose thought on it, but it would be like a contained chunk of dirt that you grow something from. Basically a book chia pet. If we can go there. Oh my god, Serenity, you have to. You have to. You've given us too much money, we'll even say, to not introduce yourself to us. Because you usually get free stuff from us. Like, Sammy, I gave you that turtle print, right? I'm pretty sure I gave you that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Oh. So this one, I think I'm also going to turn into a painting, but for the moment, I want to keep it ink so I can actually trace it easier onto what I am going to make it into a painting of. But, okay, good. I was making sure. Because I try to give anybody who comes to see us in person something free. So, or at least a discount on something you want. If you're like one of our loyal Twitch people, oh yeah. Oh, and I got one of my Cheezer figures in the mail. So, I collect these. I have a few of them. I don't know how many, maybe 20. I don't know. But, like, they don't make these anymore. This is, they're called Cheezers. Little Cheezers. And there's a whole bunch of them. I just love how these mice are designed. Like, and I really hope that my mice kind of come across as cute and pudgy as these. They've got so many rounded bits to them, and I love it so much. Anyway, that's one of my big inspirations lately. Let's do the puzzle book then, if nobody's got a preference. Now, the puzzle book, I'm thinking you would need more pieces of the book, more puzzles, where you take the book and you line it up with either one more piece or like 4 more pieces, and it forms the mega book or whatever, right? The actual book, and then, you know. But do I do a piece of the book where it's just a puzzle piece, or do I do the whole thing combined? Maybe the whole thing combined. Because then you can kind of assume that if you take apart bits, yeah, that makes more sense. Thank you, May Fox. Isn't that cute? I love it. That brand, it's so adorable. All the things, they're each doing something cute. Someday, once we move, I'll just show you guys my Cheezers collection. Like, I'll go through each one. They're so cute. You like the Growing Magic book, too? Okay. That one I want to think a little bit more on, just because I think I have to, like, figure out how it would write the book to you. Because, here, just to show you. In case you don't keep up with my books, I'll show you kind of what we're talking about here. So, the ones I've done this Inktober so far. There's a pumpkin book. There's a book in a cage. It was funny. This is a type of book that actually exists. However, I did it a little differently how it actually exists. Usually they're made with palm leaves. And they're actually called palm leaf manuscripts. If you look them up, you'll see them. But I think this is the only way they're ever done is with palm leaves like this. So I couldn't figure out what they're called if they're not made of palm leaves. But anyway, I kind of took it and ran with it. So this is kind of along the same lines that the growing book would be, whereas this is a sensor book. So as the smoke comes out, it technically is a readout. And the smoke would actually like form the letters, and you'd read it as the smoke goes up. And that's kind of a dark book. The idea is that this dead and or dying dove would be protecting this cursed book with the last of its purity so that the curse wouldn't escape. That I've got to sell. I think, is that it for right now? Oh, then I got a caterpillar book, which looks like it won't last very long. Then I have a honey book, which is basically a beehive, and then there's honey pages. No, it's not very practical. I didn't promise these would be practical. It's a treasure chest book. This book is a door. Oh, those are from yesterday. A herald book. If you look at it this way, it's like the banner on some of those old horns that the heralds used to use. And then the Spool book, also very impractical. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe I'll do the puzzle piece one, but... Oh, good, Sniggle. Yeah, absolutely. That's great. Keep doing it. Yeah, Serenity, we are moving again. Oh, maybe Mayfox. That could be neat. If it's one big leaf, yeah, I could see that. I don't know. I've got to think about it. Oh, it's hard. Whew. It's sticky book, yeah, basically. Nato class once. Oh, yeah. Have I ever worn them in public just to wear them? First of all, these are my ears. How dare you? No, I wear them in to conventions when we go to cons. But no, not just to the grocery store and stuff. I don't want people thinking I'm freaky. You know, usually if you'd wear something like that, I think people's immediate thought is that you're like, you know, you're freaky in the sheets or something. I don't know. Where I'm pretty basic, I'm just saying. But yeah, I wear it as my persona, you know, which is on Twitch and at conventions, but blooms into little scrolls, maybe. Yes, so for anybody wondering about our P.O. box, it will stay the same. That's the nice thing about P.O. boxes. No matter where you go, it stays the same. So if anybody is still wanting to send us stuff, bless you, also, by the way, for sending us stuff. But yeah, below my video, it's got our P.O. box. Feel free to send anything there. Except bombs. Don't send bombs there. Or anthrax. I don't want that. I want that Herald book in real life. Wouldn't that be cool? It's just strapped to a horn. I don't know. We're moving just like, it's not a big deal, but we're moving like 30 seconds away. If you drive 30 seconds in one direction, you'll basically get to our new apartment. We're moving because we eventually want a dog, and right now we're in a non-pet friendly apartment. So we wanted to make sure if we started actually setting up our apartment and decorating it and stuff, that it was going to be somewhere we saw ourselves being for a while, because otherwise it's like, I don't want to tear all that crap down again, you know? Like the stuff I did put up here, I'm already like, man, because we just moved here in February, but it was just kind of a short-term thing. We both knew that, and until we could find a pet-friendly place, so we're gonna get an English Bulldog because I've had one before and she was the best dog I've ever had, and they are just the best breed in the world. The only problem is they're like taking care of a toddler forever, and you have to be prepared to do a lot of maintenance, okay? Like if you don't mind the maintenance that a baby would have, but you don't like babies, that's what a bulldog is. So it's not for the faint of heart. If you don't like high maintenance animals and you just want your dog to kind of just exist and, you know, do things with you and whatever, cool. But I want to have a baby, but not have it be human, because I don't like human babies. So this is perfect for me. But yeah, my bulldog was the best. I loved her. Switching to the side of the street. Basically, it's like one intersection away from where we are now, but it's the same company. So that's basically why they're letting us do this. Because usually you'd have to be here a year before you can switch where you're living, but since it's within the company, they give you like 6 months and then you can switch units and stuff. Yep, you have to clean all their folds. You also have to clean their tail pocket, which a lot of people don't do, and then their tail gets amputated. So you have to at least 2 to 3 times a day make sure their tail pocket is clean and dry. I went as far to wipe my dog's butt every time she went to the bathroom because I was just paranoid about it, and she was always clean because I get kind of weird about any pet being on, like, you know, couches and stuff and what's on them and things. So I make sure they're clean. I took very good care of her. I trained her really well. But yeah, I make sure about all that. Sammy, is it Lee Rodenbush by chance? She's like, if we could get one of her bullies, we totally would, but Maryland's too far from us because we're in Wisconsin, and that's like a 14-hour drive. But we've got some here, and they actually have blue merles too, which I would really like a blue merle. Yeah. But anyway, I highly suggest though that you do not get an English Bulldog unless you know exactly what you're getting into. I have some friends that were like, oh, I want an English bulldog, I want, and they don't take care of anything well. And I'm like, no, you cannot get one because you do not take care of plants well. You can't even anything. No, you get a golden retriever or something. Don't get a bulldog. Yes, bulldogs do have tail pockets. If they have a little tiny tail nub that doesn't come out, I call it a gas cap. Because it's down and you have to lift it to actually clean their tail pocket. Those are the most troublesome. If you've got a bulldog that has a tail that actually goes out, you're safer because that's not, closed. Otherwise, yeah, you have to clean their tail pockets. Oh, road trip. A blue merle. Sorry. Hey, Shades. But yeah, you really gotta know what you're getting into with bulldogs. Blue merle. Sorry, my voice is messed. They get infected and they have to get amputated. So I follow a bunch of bulldogs online that sometimes even if you take care of them really well, it'll still happen and it'll need to be amputated. And, then they get some of their moms have gotten little cute accessory tails that you clip onto their butt to make it look like they have a tail. But otherwise, yeah. It happens to Frenchies a lot too. But yeah, they can get infected and stuff, so. I don't know. English are my favorite and they always have been. My dog was so cute. Here is her thing. My ex-husband does a really good job keeping up with her stuff. And I'm sure he does this, for me, but... And as long as you take good care of them, they won't have high vet bills or anything. But... Honestly, Eliza, I would be a little paranoid, yeah. If you're not doing those things already, make sure that if you clean it, though, you also dry it. Okay? Because you can't leave it wet, because then they get a yeast infection. You have to make sure you dry it, too. Oh, bye, Laura. Yeah, we love being with you. Thanks for coming back. All your stuff you've been doing on Instagram has been great, by the way. I've been enjoying that very much. You've kept up with it. Awesome. But yeah, that was my baby, and she was so cute. She was just a potato. Just a lumpy little potato. But yeah, all those folds, you gotta make sure you clean and dry those too, because those can get yeast infections. It's time consuming, but I love it. I love doting on something that much. Where, like I said, if I was into human babies, I'd probably have baby fever right now, but I do not like human babies.
I feel like having a bulldog is almost like having, it's 25% real baby, because you got to clean it not as much, but 25% as much as you would a real baby.
I'd say so.
Because babies, you got to they got to take baths every day, which is
only if they get messy, actually.
I don't know.
I've heard that.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, so if they spill food on themselves and whatever, otherwise you don't have to bathe babies that often. And you're not even supposed to bathe the dogs either, unless they get really dirty, because of what it can do to them temperature-wise and stuff. You have to be very careful with how much temperature you use. There's all these things. Most dogs are usually okay with stuff, but some dogs, especially English bulldogs, you have to be very mindful of their temperature. So if it's 90 degrees out, you have to buy cooling mats for them. And then if it is hot out too, for majority of dogs, this is true too, don't just give them ice cubes. They can go into shock and or choke from them. Just make sure you give them really cold water, or just coldish water, because shock is very prominent in the summer with pups. One grows up and learns to be terrible. That's my fear with them, yeah. I think showering every day is okay, Sammy, as long as it's not super hot. But you're not supposed to wash your hair every day. That's a big no-no. You're actually supposed to wash your hair once or twice a week. At least I do, and it's better for your hair. If you talk to any hairdresser and you ask them how many times a week they wash their hair, some will say once every 2 weeks. Some will say once a week. And, you know, our immediate thought is, ew, that's gross. You're all greasy. No, they're not. Because since, like, I just explained this to Gabe's brother who washes his hair every day. The more you wash your hair, the more your scalp has to replace the oil, so it's always producing, right? So your hair gets really greasy. So if you stop and you start doing the, like, washing it every day and every 2 days and all that, it'll realize, oh, I don't need to produce as much oil now because there's some still here. And it cuts back more and more.
You know what else? I realized that playing with my hair, more greasy.
Well, that's because your hands.
Exactly, because it gets dirty.
Yeah, don't touch your hair.
So I'm
like,
always...
don't even brush your hair, really.
I'm always seeing girls, like...
Oh,
like,
they...
Yeah, and
oh
they
my
do that.
God.
And I'm like, yo, you are dirtying your hair right now.
I had a girl come up to me at New York who was legit, like... So she was with her friend, right?
Uh-huh.
I am not even joking about this. This was a legitimate human being. Like, she was real and not a joke. She was doing this, and she was talking to her friend. They were like 3 feet away from my table. She's like, I don't know. Well, just ask her. And she came up and she was twiddling her hair like this, right? And she's like, so, do you draw pets? And
Get out!
I looked at her and I was like, oh, honey, like, and I point to my 2 foot by 3 foot sign. I was like, yeah, I do pet portraits. She's like, so you draw them? And I was like, yes, I draw them. These are examples. And it was so weird. It says your pet in armor portraits, right? I even get some people sometimes who think they're not portraits. They're like, so you can make armor for, like, my pet? Like, that I can put on them? And I'm like, no, they're portraits.
See, and then...
They're portraits.
And then you prick their finger and you see all the blue blood coming out of them.
Well, and then sometimes they'll pick up the book and they're like, you're going to make a whole book about my pet.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. I'm like, no, that's, like, impossible. That'd be so much money. No, I don't make a whole book about your pet. I make a portrait of your pet. And it just... I don't know, man. I don't know where I'm failing at this point with my UI, like my user interface.
I don't think you are.
I'm not. At this point, I have streamlined it so well, I know it's not me.
People are just...
I know it's not me. I can't. It's gotten, like, that was the cream of the crop. I've gotten people before, like, okay, so you take my pet and you put them in armor? I'm like, no, I don't just do that. I translate their personality into a D&D and RPG class that suits them. And they're like, oh my god, that's so much better. I'm like, yeah. But the girl that's like, so you draw pets? And I was like, yes, honey, I draw pets. It, like, I was honestly, I'll be completely honest with you, I was rude right away back to her. And I kind of feel bad about it, but at the same time I don't. I'm like, yep, that's what the sign says. I mean, I draw pets. Yeah. Like, I didn't know how to react. I think I panicked and I was just a little rude, but I tried to make up for it after that, but the initial, I was like, I know, Serenity, right? Oh, God. I don't know how girls do that either. Like, this feels gross to me. Like, I don't like the feeling of hair. So I try not to touch it. I don't know. Some people must like it.
You know what else I was thinking? Maybe if you live, like, in a dirtier city, I guess, you know, then maybe your hair gets dirtier just quicker.
Oh, absolutely. Every time we go to cons, I get this.
Yeah.
So when we go to conventions, and usually when we're at home, I can wash my hair every 4 days. And it's getting better where I could almost go a 5th day. But when we're at a convention, I have to do it like every other day because we're in a city, and for some reason at the cons, like, I get extra grease and dirty like quick.
I think it's
noticeable.
There's so many more people around you, and there's so much more exhaust from cars and
exhaust from people too.
Yeah.
I just say, like, skin cells and things going up. Like, there's so much more, and you can totally tell it's kind of gross.
I feel like my like, even my hands just get dirtier. Like, I'm only touching my own things. I'm not touching other people.
Yeah, I mean, that totally happens. And then, like, so with that whole thing, like, I mean, just, like, that girl was actually a Valley girl too. She's like, so, like, and I'm not exaggerating. She said, so, like, you draw people's pets? And it was just, oh my god. It was funny. I don't know. Okay, so Sammy, if your hair is way too oily, that is probably because you wash it too much. Just try first off to skip a day. And you might have to do that for like a year. And it'll be gross the first couple of weeks, but then your scalp will adjust. And, you know, just take a brush and work the oil through your hair too. What's really hard is when you go to the gym. And, you know, you actually like sweat, right? But eventually, it's okay. At first, you're going to feel gross. You're going to feel gross, but it's really part of it. And then you just kind of work it through again, and when it dries, it's fine. Like, my hair doesn't get actually oily anymore. When it gets dirty, it just separates. It doesn't honestly get oily. I don't know. It's really, I don't know how to explain it, but I can tell it's way more healthy than it used to be when I washed it all the time. I do know that much. Yeah, I'm going to do this way. So the hardest thing that I've found drawing these books for 4 years straight is that curved things are the hardest to actually draw in perspective. And you kind of have to learn how to eyeball them because there's no real perspective trick that's easy to get them accurate. Like, you'd have to do something pretty insanely, like, mathematical to get them correct. Which has been really weird. Like, it's been a process, I'll be honest. And it's more weird because my earlier books, I feel like, are better than my newer books. By, like, 1,000,000. And I just assume I was in a sweet spot at the time to do them, so that's okay, though, because my style has honestly changed as well. So when that happens, what you can do is when you make the book and you actually compile it, throw them in random spots. Don't actually have it be chronological to how you created them, because then you'll be able to see those chunks. Instead, kind of do what you'd do for a portfolio, where you'd kind of, you know, dot around your worst pieces with your best pieces, so that they all kind of even out, right?
What are those cats that always look they're like bulldog cats?
Persians?
Is it Persian?
Yeah, they got flat faces.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for Brimley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Sammy, absolutely. And you're gonna save so much money on shampoo and conditioner. And also switch to stuff that's honestly not sold at like Target and stuff. It's worth it. So here's the trade-off, all right? Gabe and I buy kind of, this is gonna sound horrible, high tier, like organic shampoo conditioner shit, okay? We get it from like Aveda, but it's bare bones, no extra crap in it. I tried for one weekend when we were at a con because I forgot my shampoo and conditioner. Regular shit destroyed my hair, made it like totally just gross. It was just instantly oily. So when I got back home and I did that again, it was great. So the trade-off is you spend a lot of money on that, but it lasts you like years. I think the ones I just ran out of lasted me like at least 1.5 to 2 years. And guys don't even have to use conditioner. You don't. You just need like shampoo and you're good. It's really, really weird. So after this month, Sniggle, because if you look at the hashtag, I'll be ready to make the book of books. This has gone on long enough. I mean, 4 years of straight Inktobers. Everybody doesn't even ask me what I'm doing anymore. They're like, oh, she's just doing her books. So if you go to any one of my books and you go to the series hashtag here, I've got over 100 books. And you can go back through them from the past, 3 years at least. So I've got some that are crazy, like a bottle book here. It's a fungus book, but it looks like a burger. I have a corn book, I think, that I just remembered I did when I saw someone actually eating corn on TV, and I'm like, I should do a corn book. And I'm like, no, I have a corn book. And that was a really weird realization. Here's a meat book. So I have a book that's made of meat. But the fact that I was like thinking of ideas that felt new and they weren't is kind of me telling myself, okay, you're probably done. You should probably stop. Some, though, I'm really proud of. Like, this one was really cool. This is a wax book. So if you look at it, it's got wicks that go through it. So when you're done reading it, you basically set them on fire and it deletes the book. Like, it destroys it. Which I totally dig that. I still think that's cool. Here's the corn book. A corn book. And I got to the point where I had to stop telling myself to just attach things to the spine. Because really, you can make anything into a book if you just strap it to the spine. And I realized that when I did, which one was it? Kind of the horn book. I was lucky with this one, though, that it was a herald book, so they always have the banner. So that's an added visual element. But if it was just a horn and just a normal book, that looks a little cheap. So I have to make sure it's more of a thorough idea that works its way throughout the book and not just the spine. Some were pretty basic, that like this one's from 2014. That's like, that looks like a book you can buy. Like, it's pretty basic. For a while I was playing with the covers, how they latched, things like that. I didn't get too crazy until later. This one's a lava book. This is a scarab. I actually still really like this water book. It's made of water. And on the spine it has a piece of coral. And then there's this thing here that's like the latch. So there's some stuff in there. But otherwise there's some dark ones. That one's got some blood in it. And an intestine as a bookmark. You know, semi-obvious. One of my most proud ones, though, this one's probably like an Antichrist book, honestly, was I did this marble book, and Gabe even still gushes about it. This is probably my best book, honestly, in terms of its consistency, its accuracy, just all over. I feel like this might be my best made book. It's not the most interesting or creative as the other ones, but I think in terms of just how I eyeballed perspective, that one might be a better one. But yeah, some are crazy. Like that one is just a bare bones book. It only needs to be supported where it is. It's a walnut. It's a walnut book. So some are simple, some aren't, but you can find those all online. Let's see. So puzzle book. I don't have a puzzle book. Hey, Nightshade. This has gone too far, Stickles. Meat, right? An eclipse book. I have a moon book. I will guarantee you guys, for the most part, if you suggest a book, I've probably done it, but don't let that discourage you. I'll just let you know gently that I have. I can't top the intestine bookmark. There's a few. There's a few that I'm like, this might be alright. I don't know. But in the beginning, it started off super simple, and then eventually I got crazy with it. Because that's how a good brainstorming session works. Like if you think of any idea and you need to brainstorm ideas for it, what you're going to do is you're going to end up writing down the most obvious things first, just to get them out there, just to be stereotyped. Okay, here's all these things, right? It's after that point, anything you think of is going to be kind of more creative, almost guaranteed, right? And then after that point, you'll have a little golden era, and then you're going to feel this taper off. And I felt that last year, and then now I had a slight resurgence in some ideas, but I'm already kind of coming back down, and I think it's for good. Like, I don't think I can really think of much after this. And honestly, this is what concept artists do for their job, but I did it over 4 years. So there are people that can think of those ideas that took me 4 years, like it's nothing, you know? So, I don't know. it only becomes a book at certain times a year. Now that's a really cool idea, Sammy.
Mm-hmm.
The hard part would be trying to show that. Which, actually, if you had two books that were kind of like decks of cards, like you do the thing where you, right? But if you had two books that you slid together and their pages interlocked and were every other that you'd read, you got one. That's a good one. I'm writing that down. Now that you explained it, that's a good one. Because I do have a Sun and a Moon book, but an Eclipse book that worked like that. Because you got to think that there's a small amount of engineering with these too. Like this puzzle book, it's going to be split right here. It's going to be split right here. So they each need their own spine, or at least their own way to stick together. What did you send me?
Just a video.
So I actually like that a lot once you've said it. Eclipse book. Like shuffled cards. So maybe they come together at a certain time of year for a ritual, and someone has a book and another book. Bound spaghetti. Okay, so I do have some criteria. It has to be a medieval book, or at least something that looks old or ancient. Okay, no tech. So there is one book in here where I'm on the fence on, because it looks cool, but it's tech. And I told myself no tech. And where is it? It was like my only sci-fi book. This one. It's back when I was hard shell art, but oh, it had 143 likes. Of course it did. But like, if I can figure out how to make this not look so tech and look more like it could be ancient tech, I guess it could still be. But if maybe I made this wood and this was just glass panes, I don't know. I gotta think about it. Oh no, Jazzy, no. Sorry. I should have put more context with that. I've already got that, Nightshade. Keep going. Yeah, Sammy, so Breath of the Wild-esque, kind of like that ancient tech. Gabe actually does it a lot, the ancient tech idea. Like, for, what would you say is where you've mainly used it? Jupiter?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what I draw is ancient, I guess.
He has ancient tech kind of stuff that he does, so I'm trying to fix my camera. So.
I think if you think of Hyper Light Drifter, that's probably like the most renowned example of what that is.
A hurdy-gurdy book. If I can figure out how to do it, Sniggle, sure. I do have a music box book, though. That was actually tough to do. That was actually one of the earlier ones, too. So I don't know if the hurdy-gurdy book might end up looking too close to the music box book. So that's the music box book. I guess it'd look different. But yeah, the music box book is mainly mechanical bits. Automaton stuff. I also have like this weird... It's a light book. This one I was also impressed with. I eyeballed all this perspective too. So at one point I was on my game with perspective. This one is kind of a Dark Crystal inspired book, but I don't want to call that out. But if someone can actually like, oh, this reminds me of Dark Crystal, I'd be like, yeah, you got it, cool. That means that I took their style and I was able to make it my own, but still you can read the influence, which is cool. And I'm kind of sad about this book. This is a very sad book. This is one of those ones where I was off my game, I put a clock in a book. This is not well done. So I would want to redo this one. And obviously make it more old school. This one I don't even know. I don't know what that is. Some though are kind of neat, like my crystal book. So I actually think I might not even redo some since I have 100 right now. If I just got 50 designs that I really like, I might just do that. Because this is a quality over quantity, I feel like.
Were you still gonna put like little
Yeah.
things to it? Because then
Then it's 100. I know.
well, I mean, then it's this like this fat.
That's 100?
That's 100. That actually might be.
I think
50.
that's 50.
No. This is 50 characters, plus 50 stories.
So it'd only be that big?
It's this thick, but this is really thick. This is nice.
I wanted it thicker than that.
Okay, so I'm figuring out actually making it any thicker is causing problems, I think, with the binding.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, that's because of how small it is, though. If it were bigger, you wouldn't have that problem.
No, I mean it's not even that. It's just it's because,
no, because
of
if it was the size of my Pet and Armor book, like this big, that many pages wouldn't hurt as much. 'Cause this is 50 some. You know?
Yeah.
Like, is this half of that then? That doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yep. I mean, it's slightly.
Oh,
it's
no,
like 60%.
That's like 75%.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
But but still, I mean, this is a nice thick book, I feel.
Yeah, and the other problem is, though, I wanted it to look kind of old, but I'm not going to be able to do that.
No. I mean, unless you went next level. And I mean, honestly, like, that would be something that, like, if you wanted to go with Print Ninja and just do, you know, like a $2,000 print run.
I'd have to save up for that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing any Kickstarters, that's for sure.
No.
Sorry, Mayfox. Yeah, we're talking about book size, no other sizes. Sorry for the confusion. I could see the problem. At least I didn't use words like girth or anything like that, so that's good. Then it'd really be a, huh.
Things that make you go,
Huh.
hmm.
Okay, so these obviously be like that. Maybe these latch together. Yeah. Like this. So I don't really want to ruin the silhouette that is the puzzle piece, so maybe if they clamp together that way. So this is technically for tomorrow then. So remember, if you're just on a roll, or you gotta fill time or something, keep going. You know? Sorry I'm still hoarse. I swear to God, I'm not sick. It's really just from talking way too much at the convention. I sound like a smoker. Electric Eraser and Grandma can't be. How do you remember this? Serenity! It's like you're Soggy, and Soggy's not even here. You guys have seen Electric Erasers, right? Like, this is like, everybody knows these exist, yeah? Also, they've got to be like the laziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, you literally just hold it on the paper and it just does this. It's like, you can't do that yourself. Are you for real? Oh, you did! It's Serenity. It was you! Soggy always brings that up. He always tells people to watch it without audio. It's like one of his glorified clip moments. I'll give it to him. It was a good one. Nightshade, what was your favorite part about skydiving? Oh, I forgot to show you the video, Gabe. He sent me a video of, they took a video of him skydiving.
Neat.
Like as part of the thing, which is really cute. It's nice they do that. Also, I lost one of these because they're tiny, so I bought a new one. For reasons like I'm gonna use it now. These are really good erasers, and they're tiny. Sometimes I need living. Ooh, alright, alright. What was the worst part? How about that? I just think it's crazy sometimes to kind of reflect on Like if you're in a plane or something, like realizing you're doing something that someone hundreds of years ago, you know, maybe dreamed of doing. And it's really weird to have that moment where it's like, you know, I'm actually doing something now that someone hasn't done or hadn't done. The fear of dying. It was insane. Did you almost pee your pants? Oh no. Was that after you jumped they were too tight, or was it before and you just didn't speak up? Don't tell me your Midwest nice got in the way. Well, I don't want to bother them. Also, for your bees, Nightshade, do you cover them like when it gets frosty out, like now, like where it's like 40 degrees or under? Do you do something about that? I couldn't even breathe. Oh, oh man, that sounds crazy. I'm proud of you, dude. I'm always impressed when people can do that. It's something else. I would never be able to. I'm just gonna say that. And don't say, oh yeah, you could if you tried. No, I'm just putting my hand down. I'm never gonna do that. I can't even do roller coasters, okay? I don't get a kick out of that stuff. But I have great respect for people that can. They keep themselves warm. Oh, bees. Maybe, Sniggle, once you get really good at sword fighting, you can sword fight when you're skydiving. Like, I don't think anybody's ever had, like, a fencing fight in midair. You just have to stop before you put your parachute out. Yeah, I totally can't. I'll admit that's one of my things. Like, heights and drops, I get queasy in a car, man. It's pathetic. I could never do that. Seriously. Ooh. Nope. What about you, Gabe? Could you?
Yeah.
You could skydive?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
I like roller coasters.
Yeah, but I don't think that's synonymous. I mean,
Yeah, I think.
I don't know. Nightshade, how would you present the criteria to somebody of if they'd like skydiving or not? Like, if you like blah, then you like skydiving. Do you drop pets? I felt kind of bad after I was rude to her because her friend was like, no, just ask. Just ask. It's like, I just don't understand how she didn't know. Like, I don't know. If you like fun, you would like skydiving. Oh, poo-poo. Poo-poo, Nightshade. Yes, Ashley clearly hates fun. Fun is beneath me. I am above it. I need not skydive, for I am higher than the heights of skydiving. Haha. Hee hee hoo hoo. I think these need some depth. I'm gonna add some. Damn, this playlist is lit, bro. Get it. There you go. So that was a very important line right here. 'Cause that's very, well, it shows where one book ends and another begins, so that's really important. Otherwise it wouldn't have been as obvious that they were separate, which I feel like for this one it's kind of vital. If you have a small fear of airplanes, or fear of small airplanes. I love getting out of one and into the open air. That's an optimistic way of looking at it, say. I don't think I have a fear of small airplanes. I don't have a fear of airplanes, which really surprises me. I thought I'd be scared to death of airplanes. I'm not. I did figure out something though. Since I've been on so many planes now, I had to kind of figure out a hack to not get really scared or effed up when you take off. Because there's that initial rise and then there's this feeling, and that's the drop feeling that I hate, right? So I had to figure out a hack for that. The best thing I've figured out, other than Dramamine, is when you can feel that it's going into that dip, breathe out as you're dipping. For some reason it equalizes the feeling, so I don't feel it. So when I feel it start, I go and then my stomach like compresses, and it's the weirdest thing, but it works. I can't even explain it. I don't know the science. I really don't. If you fancy pondering your own mortality and throwing it out the door, trusting your fate to a 1 millimeter thick piece of cloth, you will like skydiving. Fair enough. That sounds like Gabe. He could do that. If you don't give a fuck, go skydiving. Oofta. Yeah, I do, Nightshade. I do. It's really weird, too, when it happens. It must have been ingrained in me at some point. Like, just the oofta. Like, it's not, it's more like a oofta. Like a, it's a exclamation of just exasperation. You know, where, you know, maybe you're talking to somebody, oh, and she did this, and I'm just so sick of everything she does. It's like oofed. When people say oofed, like oofed. But it's, since it's Midwest and it's Minnesota, it's like oofta. It's like more so, right? I found myself doing the more often than ever before lately, where, apparently it's not just my region either, like people in Chicago do it too, where if you accidentally run into somebody or you get too close to them when you're walking, you're like, oh, I'm sorry, oh, like OP, oh, and it's like a Midwest thing apparently. Other people don't do this. I didn't know that. I didn't even know it was like regional. Oh, gross, Nightshade. Ooh, I hate puke. I hate puke so much. Yeah, I don't see skydiving as dangerous. I just hate that G-force feeling in your tummy. Like, that's the only thing I hate. It's just uncomfortable. You know, it's like if somebody punched me in the gut, like all the air leaves me and it just feels icky. Like, I don't want to, that's not fun to me. I know some people really crave that drop feeling. I can't. Oh, yeah. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Oh, yeah. I don't know what it is. I think it's just an us thing, but I don't know. Maybe it's just north. I don't know. North. God. There it is. You're welcome. Alright. What else should I add to this? I could add some symbols, probably. It'd be cool if it was elements, since there's like 4 main elements. Oh my god, Nightshade. No, that sounds horrible. Ooh. Bye, Shonda. Thanks for coming by. Also, au gratin potatoes are amazing. I'm so jealous. Oh. Oh no! Nightshade, lol. I don't think Sniggles swings that way, but maybe he does in a skydive. That might be a little bit more difficult. That might be closer to, what is that, synchronized skydiving? I don't know. Why is this happening? I couldn't stop and I was left when I accidentally ran into someone. They say, oh, right? Isn't that weird? And you're like, up. I think it's to show you were surprised and that you weren't planning on hitting him or anything. It's like, you didn't mean it. That's, I think, is saying like, I didn't mean it. And then you say, sorry, right? I feel like that's a genuine, oh no, you know? I don't see anything wrong with it. I think it's cute. I don't know. Okay, let's look up elements, icons, or symbols. Big difference between using the word icon and symbol. Oh, that's just habit then, Jazzy. Sickle. Fuck you! So, Serenity, do you guys do anything like that in Germany when you accidentally run into somebody or anything like that? Do you have an exclamation you do? Oh my god, Night, I don't know. Fire, water, earth, air. That'll work. I kind of like these other ones. Yeah, I'll do those ones. This is the other thing. So drawing like... Oh, I nailed that. Awesome. So whenever you draw something geometric inside of something else geometric, you gotta make sure that you do the line right. Oh, I love this song. Every time this one comes on, I'm always like, I love this song! Doesn't Supernatural debut tonight? The new one? I thought it was today. Oh, see, that's a problem right there. Gonna have to go under this, and that's no fun. I don't want that. Are you actually looking it up?
Mm-hmm.
So I remember them saying like the 10th or 11th. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, weird, Serenity. Oh, May Fox! Who'd you dress up as?
Oh, where's the day?
Yeah, that's what I thought. So it's probably happening on TV at 8, I think. 7 or 8. Who'd you dress up as if you weren't wearing flannel? You weren't Sam or Dean then. Or Bobby. I'd assume there's tons of Casses, though, too. I mean, there are tons of Casses at regular cons. It's funny, because at a regular con, the only difference between Hellblazer and, Cass and then like a Doctor Who or something is their tie, like the tie color. If it's Hellblazer, he's got usually crazy hair that's blonde, a cigarette, and a red tie, where Cass usually has black wings, a blue tie, and crazy brown hair, but they're all wearing the same trench, the same button up, the same pants. It's crazy. Yeah, I love the LARPing. We've seen all the episodes of Supernatural like twice. That's a hidden secret. Shh. The David Tennant versions? So, really? So you don't even have any of the older Doctor Who's or any, like, other Doctor Who's except David Tennant's versions? Really?
Weird.
Wow. I would assume you could tell a lot about a person by which Doctor Who they cosplay. Like if they're Eccleston or something. Like, then they're maybe the bad boy since they're wearing a leather jacket. Or like if they're a eccentric dad, maybe they're that one with the long scarf and the hat. Really, Serenity? That's weird. Well, I bet a lot of girls are going to be dressing up as the new one. And I would even assume you're probably going to get people that are doing crossplays to make her into a guy.
Yeah.
Oh, May Fox! Yes! I love it. The LARPing one was great. Dean was totally all about it. He was eating it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. You did a really good job. And that belt actually really works out for that, so good work.
Awesome.
I agree. Everybody should have a scarf. It's true. Scarves are good for cold things. And I think it's funny when people, like, you know, assume that, Supernatural's for girls or, like, little girls. And then Gabe pipes in, he's like, I like it. It's like, oh.
I'd get the tattoo.
Gabe's like, he loves it. I mean, I think if guys watched it, instead of just assuming, oh, it's for girls, you guys would like it. You guys would love it. I mean, it's like any other show. They don't really do any fan service things anymore for the ladies. They did it in the beginning when, like, Dean had that girlfriend. They had, like, one romance scene. Remember that?
I was about to say that in the beginning it was a lot more for dudes. Like, because they always had busty girls. Like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, now they embrace, like, how the public treats it, and they've, like, changed. And they know, you know, girls dig it, so...
No more busty girls.
No more busty girls, no more stupid sexual anything. Everything's just business. And then they have powerful women, you know? It does have something for everyone, I agree. It has bad stigma to it that I think is outdated by a couple of years. And I think it's Tumblr's fault originally, but then Tumblr brought it back around to making it stronger because they embraced it and built on it. And I think that's why it's what it is now, you know. Really, a Nightshade? What if I don't like shows like Futurama? Am I gonna... I don't know. I've heard mixed things. Everybody says they either love it or hate it. He's an eccentric dad? Yes, I nailed it! Oh, man. It was, but the cool thing was that they took something that was Tumblr's fault, made it better, and, like, embraced it and made it a good thing. Where usually, whenever Tumblr kind of fucks something up, it does it for good. I don't really like Futurama. I mean, it's sci-fi, first off. I didn't really adhere to any of the characters. I think my favorite was the scientist. I don't know.
I think I just got tired of...
And that little thing that's like a monkey, but it's not a monkey. It's got one eye, I think. I don't know. It's got a tooth.
I got tired of Simpsons
that style.
Comedy.
Well, that too, but that style, I don't know. I got burnt. I loved The Simpsons. When Brad Bird was writing for The Simpsons, I loved it. But, like, after a while, it just got bad. I don't know who took over, but...
The problem is that it's geared towards, like, adolescent, like... dudes, you know? Like, that's who, like, Simpsons, Family Guy, Futurama, like, those are all written for
Here's the
teenage
thing,
dudes.
I feel like Futurama is pre-Rick and Morty.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
like,
totally.
Seriously, like, the people that probably like Rick and Morty now liked Futurama. They jumped the shark. I'll give it a try, Nightshade, just because I have heard things. I also want to watch Hilda really bad.
Oh, yeah.
But Gabe's brother has to redo the accounts. Can you message him, please? I would really.
I asked him if he would let us use his Crunchyroll because.
I don't want that.
Well, Kamen Rider's on Crunchyroll.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Shit. But don't think we're using him. We told him he doesn't have to give us any birthday or Christmas gifts if he gives us the subscriptions. That's all. Which makes it easy for him, you know. Plus, we never finished Ghosted.
Mm-hmm.
And we love us some Adam Scott. It's like holding a hostage. I mean, you know. Not holding him hostage, it's just combining all of our birthday and Christmas things into one easy thing. And for Ren, I think that's almost better for him. So then he doesn't have to think like too hard about anything.
Yeah.
Like I think for me he did Hulu, for Gabe he did Netflix. So we won't kill you if you give us money. No! I mean, you know, how is that different than expecting him to give gifts? Because every year families give gifts. Like, usually we say we don't want anything, but you know families. You tell them you don't want anything and they still get you stuff, and then it's usually stuff you don't want. This way, we get stuff we want and he gets off the hook. I wish more people were like that. I wish the people that I had to give stuff to were like that. We're not bank robbers. We're good people sometimes. Most of the time. Alright. Did you hear that? That was an octave change. That was crazy. The song gets serious. It's weird because I don't really wake up until around 6. Like mentally. So weird.
Mm-hmm.
Or they didn't know they needed? Is that what you mean, Sniggle? Because, if you can do that, that's pretty cool. Like, I didn't know I wanted this, but now I know I do. That's the best, but that's pretty rare nowadays. Especially if you got kind of geeky people who kind of get their own things as they go. You know. Hey, Corey. Maybe. If the robot is like a jerk while he does it, maybe. You give me a polite, well-mannered robot, I won't complain. Some of them have that, initial I want to kill humans thing. They weren't programmed with the 3 laws, so you spend a little extra, you give me one of them abiding robots, okay.
You know what's weird to me is that the 3 laws don't matter anyways.
How so?
Because they'll still figure out a way to break them.
I think so, yeah.
And they won't be breaking them on...
Our terms?
No, like on purpose, it'll just... They'll figure out, like if you give them actual AI...
Yeah.
like they'll figure out a reason why it's not, like
Logical?
yeah, logical. So as long as you don't give them AI or full blown AI, then they won't figure that out. And I forgot what movie we saw. I think it was I guess it's probably all of them really, where they're like, well, it doesn't make any sense anymore. We have to protect you.
I mean, I think it's like humans where you get really mad and, objectified or whatever. You're just gonna flip a switch, man. I mean, if they get AI, that means they probably get emotions of some kind, Gabe removed himself because he's coughing.
You didn't do any laundry today, right?
No, yesterday. But it's in the chair. If you need it.
Oh, right on.
But I was saying, if they have AI, then they probably have some low set of emotion.
Yeah, right.
So then they can get mad and say F it, you know. Here's your waffles, butthead. Enjoy, pig. I mean, I guess I would laugh if the robot was kind of funny. But then I'd be afraid he would kill me in my sleep. I don't know. I mean, if we're afraid of Furbies still, I don't think we can handle AI, man. I really don't. It's just my 2 cents, but I don't know. I just got that scene from Princess Bride in my head where he's insulting the Prince Humperdinck. He's like, I might be lying, knave. And he kept calling him names. I love that part. It's funny. You're bluffing, am I? I always found them creepy. Yeah, and if you can't trust a Furby, probably not gonna get a robot with any AI anytime soon. Just saying.
Except for that really cute one. That's like a truck. It's like a dump truck.
That one's not a Furby. I would love to have that one.
I saw him at Target.
No, you didn't.
I swear to God, it looked just like the one. I'm gonna find him. I think
Can't
maybe
be the same one.
I think maybe the new one on Kickstarter is like a new version, maybe.
Yeah. When in doubt, add some bullshit. Here's some bullshit I'm just adding. Seems legit. I think there's some sort of spines. I've looked at enough books where I kind of know some spines have this kind of crap. So I'm just gonna go with it at this point. Accuracy be damned, I made up this book. I'm gonna bend this book to my will. This book is my bitch. Sorry. Got a little out of hand for a minute. The other thing is, with the pages, I usually just do this sort of crap. Where it's like, I'm not, I feel like people probably see the pages I draw and they're like, oh man, you have such a steady hand to go across, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no, man, I don't do that. Your mind will make up that it is straight, and is, I don't know, accurate or steady-handed or whatever. But really, it's not. A lot of the time, it's not. And you can even go over the same area again if you kind of screw it up, which I just did. People don't know the difference normally. This is one of those things, too, where it's just you screwed up, but, if somebody else sees it for the first time, they're not going to know you screwed up. I think that's another part of knowing you're an art professional versus just a hobbyist. You know what things you can get away with because you know what people will see and what they won't. I mean, of course, you're always going to have times where it's like, oh, they're going to definitely see this. But at least then you're knowledgeable enough at that time to know they'll see it, and you'll know why they'll see it. But for the most part, you can usually fudge it. Sniggle, you're one of the few, man. I always thought they'd take over. Like, I thought they were cool until one turned on in the middle of the night once. Everybody's got that story. And that wavers my trust pretty hard. There was no reason that thing had to be up. None. No reason.
Yeah, no, I think it's the same thing, but it's
a knockoff, right?
Well, no, I think it's the same. If it's not the same company, then it's just a lot better. It's just newer. It's got more stuff in it. Like it's got like a microphone so you can talk to it.
It feels too 90s.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Furbies. Like, we've done this. We've done this.
It's got a 60-minute battery life. What is the point?
An hour?
Yeah.
Probably because kids have, like, attention for maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So you can just recharge it between their ADD episodes.
But I guess if it's just sitting in its little bay and you're like, hey.
What about long car rides where you want it to sing songs and teach it swear words?
Yeah, I don't know the point. I just don't know the point in this thing. Honestly.
You just talked yourself out of it.
No, I talked myself out of it a long time ago. Like when it first came up, I'm like, oh, that's really cute.
Are you talking about that cute thing that had the arms that looks like a jumping spider?
Yeah,
Damn it! That's the same thing?
Yeah, it's the same thing, but it's this thing. But it's the other one.
I love that thing. Damn it. I did want one.
It's just got a lot more to it. Like it's got like I said, it's got a microphone so you can talk to it and
Big
it does things.
Whoop. So does my microwave.
No, I mean like the one at Target doesn't have a microphone. It also like doesn't have like a good like it bumps into shit really easily and it doesn't like avoid things.
So it doesn't even have Roomba tech. Please.
Yeah, basically. Or the Roomba tech isn't as good as it should be, and it doesn't have a touch sensor, so you could like tap it to activate it or whatever. The screen is full color on the new one. It's got a camera. They both have a camera, but the new one has a bigger resolution. Oh, and it self-charges.
I really don't care.
But yeah.
Like, I got turned off already. I'm like, whatever. I don't care. It has this, and I just shut off.
It's got 1,000+ SDK animations. You know, for different faces and stuff. Come on.
You know what SDK means, Gabe?
No.
It means Software Development Kit.
There you go.
This is the man I chose. As I have my raspy voice. Hopefully it's hot and not annoying. Some people have a raspy voice and it gets annoying. Hopefully mine's not. It's not raspy enough though where I can have fun with it and do my like Boston smokers accent.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always fun. But it's not that deep right now. Oh, look at that screw up. That's a pretty good one. What are you guys doing?
What? Nothing?
What are you doing? Stop it. Yeah, fucking Spotify and the skipping. Alright, I'm gonna have to go soon. probably finish coloring this one and be done. Which will take me not very long. Because I have to get some actual work done tonight. Maybe pack a box. I don't know. Oh no, Serenity, why? How much sleep did you get? You getting enough? Back to the roller coaster thing real quick. I always think this is a funny thing. It's probably not, but I'm gonna say it anyway. So ever since I was probably even in middle school, sometimes our class would go on like extra special field trips and stuff. You know, the ones where you go to like maybe an amusement park. You know what I'm talking about? Gabe, did you ever do that?
No.
Okay. Yours are probably too big. But we had like 200 student classes, right? And sometimes, you know, they would take us to events, things that like, you know, whatever. And I was the only one that didn't like roller coasters. And I'm pretty sure it's because my mom put me on this one when I was too small and they totally let her. And it was like, I hated it so much because of how it made me feel. But anyway, so I have no problem being the mom at the bottom of the roller coaster holding everybody's coats and toys and cotton candy and peanuts and junk and just waving. Okay? I am that guy. But like, one girl I was with got so frustrated with me. I remember this vividly when I was in like 7th grade. She got so mad and she's like, why won't you just go on them? Just go on the stupid coaster. I'm like, I can't, I'm really scared. And she started strangling me. I was like, oh my god, are you kidding me right
like
now?
your
She's
neck?
a big girl too, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, it was brutal. I was like, I just can't. You know? And to this day, like when me and Von House went, which at the time is just me, Tim, Tyler, Corinna, and we went, and they at least were really nice about it. They understood, okay, this is a legitimate fear Ashley has. You know, we'll respect that. So I sat at the bottom and with their coats, and I'm just sitting there holding a whole bunch of coats and a couple drinks and some stuff. And I'm totally fine with that. Everybody's always like, oh, you must feel so bad about this. I'm like, hell no. I'd rather be here 1,000,000 times than on one of those things. You do not understand. This is great for me. I'm fine. So I've had like nothing but bad experiences with that sort of stuff. I don't know. Needless to say, that girl is not my friend anymore. She ended up being a lion hoe anyway. Just do it. She's so mean. Hey, Mango. Oh no, Serenity. I hope you're fixing it. I worry about you. Yeah, she's trying me. Should have settled it in story class. LOL. I did. Yeah, I had beef with her up through high school and college. Honestly, she is a terrible person, actually. It's really weird. She grew up really messed up, and I don't know why. Like, she didn't have anything truly traumatic happen or anything. She's just kind of a dick. And yeah, some girls can just be dicks. Glad to see you, Mango. It's been a while. Also, I'll probably be getting off the stream soon, because I gotta work on work. Maybe Tuesday I'll have some commissions I can color on stream for you guys. Instead of just books, which I'm sure you're so happy to see. Hire a swordsman. You know, if I was still friends with her and I didn't burn a bridge like I normally deal with things, sure. I'd hire you. You could be the guy. Yeah. Some things, man, just toxic. Nip them. Get rid of them. It ain't good for you. I know a lot of people stay in toxic friendships and stuff because they're afraid to be alone and things like that. It's much better that you're alone and happy and healthy than with a bunch of people who bring the worst out of you or make you upset. So just remember that. It ain't worth it, sugar. It ain't worth it. Okay. Them's my tones. See, I wouldn't want to post this one today anyway, because the color scheme is a little bit too close to yesterday's. Because yesterday I did a banner on the book, which was checkered, and I'd want to space that out because it's a little bit too similar. Wrong side. My bad. Screwed it up. It's okay. Why wouldn't they fit? You got too big of hands, or are they swollen from fighting with swords too much? Also, I kind of want to dirty up this book, so I'm going to add some dots, some scratches, some rips, some tears. Okay, what are you gonna have for dinner?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure? Do you want curry?
I was about to say, those potatoes look really good.
Yeah, they do. How was being on the elliptical for half an hour today?
Fine.
Yeah? I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I mean, that's the best thing you can do if you're feeling big.
Mm-hmm.
Cardio, baby. Did you see Tim's Play-Doh thing?
No.
Turned out really pretty cool.
Mm.
I thought it was going to be 3D, but it's actually like 2D.
Hmm.
Which was a neat take on it, because you could actually like frame it and stuff. Which I didn't even think of that. There you go, that's a little bit better. Maybe a little crazy. Some of this crap. Middle. Because you have giant hands, oh. Thanks, Jazzy. Right? It's the little things. Sometimes just a little fleck of something will really change how something looks. Like learning to grime something up sometimes is pretty good. A couple dots and things bring down its pristine value, you know. But thank you. I'm glad it made a difference. So I'm the primary cook in the house. Gabe will cook once in a while, and one of the things Gabe cooks well is curry. He cooks the curry.
It's not hard.
Whatever. You still cook it well. And he cooks rice.
It's not hard.
Well, I mean,
Sometimes the rice comes out hard.
yeah, sometimes the rice is a little bit rough. He's getting the hang of it. It's okay.
I think I'm not using...
He's not used to cooking either.
Well, I think the boxed rice, you can't use the rice cooker.
Right.
Hello, Miss Heather Hitchman.
Hi, Heather. How you doing? I was gonna sign off right when I'm done with this part of the book. Because I need to eat, because I'm getting hanger, and I need to do real work. But either way, I'm happy to see you. The stuff you've been posting lately looks amazing.
Fire.
By the way. I'm good. I know I sound sick. I'm totally not sick, but New York did make me hoarse for days, so I'm still hoarse. Gabe's sick. New York does that to him. I don't know. Oh, night, Jazzy. Sleep well, alright? Oh, I know, Heather. I'm sorry. Do you want to, either Heather or Gabe, do you want to put a link in for your Instagram? It's okay, Corey. It was really weird. It was kind of a whirlwind. For some reason, every time we go to NYCC, for the fucking life of me, I cannot remember really what happened. Because it's just, I feel like since it's such a constant wave of people, you don't get that moment to like reflect on what just happened in some cases, because you'll get cool characters sometimes that'll come up and talk to you. The only one that was really like standalone in my brain, other than the two fans that came and saw me, was this guy who was just this burly New Yorker, these short, stocky, super New York accent, and he had sugar gliders. If you don't know what a sugar glider is, look it up. They are the cutest little, most precious babies. And since I'm super protective of animals, I was all like, okay, but you stay up with them, right? And he's like, oh yeah, I have a night job, so it's perfect. And I'm like, okay, good. Because if you're not a nocturnal person, you basically can't have sugar gliders. But when he was explaining his sugar gliders to me, he was all like, oh yeah, I've got all of them, you know, and they crawl all over me, and I love it. They're my little buddies. They're the best, you know. And he had obviously I can't do it right now, but he was just really, really funny. Just talking about how sweet his sugar gliders are. He has 4 of them, and I just picture like all the times I've seen, usually women with sugar gliders, they have this like baby pouch, right? That's got a bunch of them in there because they just like hang out in super warm spots together, right? So I just picture this big burly New York guy. He's so cute with like all these little sugar gliders. I don't know. So that was adorable. But he looked like a mix of Joey from Friends and Mikey from Kimmy Schmidt, Titus's boyfriend. He's like the perfect mix of that. It was great. But otherwise, yeah, it was a good time. Probably my second record, which is nice. I mean, that's on the back burner, obviously, but still, it's nice to have that. Gabe did really well too, which was a nice win to have to end the year off for you. That was pretty nice.
Yep.
But yeah, it's always a good show. The people there are surprisingly awesome. You know, you think New York, you think all these hard, crass people. No, they're all really sweet. Really great. It's honestly, when I go to the South shows, those ones can be a little rough. Like, I think Florida was really the roughest crowd I've ever seen. It was so weird. Corey, you have Shuggies? Oh, that's so cute. I don't know any Aussie who keeps them. Are they native to Australia, Buckles? I didn't even know. Yeah, you guys go check out Heather's stuff. Like, she just put her link in the chat. Take a minute. Go look at Heather's stuff. Give her a follow, because, damn it, you won't be disappointed. Heather's amazing. And her husband is also a fantastic artist, too. Like, they are a power couple, hardcore. I feel like sugar gliders are definitely one of those things where if you don't know anything about them, or like, you know, you don't have the lifestyle for them, don't get them. You know, it's like English bulldogs, same thing, like we were talking about earlier. Don't just get one. They're not just any other dog. You have to be knowledgeable about what you're doing. You have to know what's up. All right. I think we're almost good here. I'm gonna do a couple last minute things. Aw, thanks, Heather. When are you streaming next? Oh, you guys also go give Heather a follow on Twitch. She does stream and her streams are great. Great. Oh, just a recap before I go too. So I'll be at FairyCon November 9th through the 11th. And just as a little thing here, I have a ton of extra tickets. So they apparently send out a little thing of like this many tickets. So this is a free day pass for Friday or Sunday. So that's either the 9th or the 11th. I think they don't offer Saturday because it's probably their most busy day. But, or you could use it for $20 off the whole weekend. But, if anybody's in Baltimore, or near it that's willing to drive to this, these are all the people that are going to be on it. Corey's going to be there, and they misspelled his name. Oh no. That's too bad. But Wendy Froud and Toby Froud, who are the wife and son of Brian Froud, which I'm bummed Brian's not going to be there, but I mean, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And then a couple bands I actually like are going to be there. Like Wardruna. If you haven't heard Wardruna, you should look them up. Because they're like super raw Viking chant stuff. I don't know if you're into that, but if you dig it, you'd probably like them. But yeah. Yeah, Heather. Yeah, Iris too. So a lot of people, they're gonna, you know, Baltimore. This is apparently the better of the 2 fairy cons. There's 2. So this is the bigger one apparently, and it's in Baltimore. So that's a 15-hour drive for us, but I basically skated in here, like, by a miracle. So I have to go this year to even gauge if, like, I want to go again. So I have to make sure. But yeah, check out the website, which is just fairycon.com, to see, like, they've got masquerades, they've got a good fairy day, a bad fairy day. But also, if you want any of these, like, if you want a free pass to either Friday or Sunday, if you want one of these, just DM me and I will literally mail you some. Okay? They gave me a ton, and they say give them to family and friends. You guys are my friends. So if you want, like, 5, I don't know, email me, message me, whatever, and be like, I'd like 5. Okay. But yeah. Oh, I believe it. Oh, Corey, you too. Poor guy. I mean, Ashley is spelled how many different ways? I mean, really, there's like 6 different ways to spell my name. So what's weird is when someone goes out of their way, because my spelling is the most common one, the ASHLEY. A lot of the time I'll get the ELY, but when somebody, like, if this happened once, I went to Starbucks and they did the ASHLEIGH, and I was like, whoa, you did not have to go that far. That was like, wow, you tried real hard. Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, thank you, Mayfox. Yeah, Sniggle, right? And that's why I can't just be on there as Ashley Erickson if I ever get there. But it's November 9th through 11th. So honestly, a month from now, almost exactly. So, yay, bunny likes Orduna, yay! They're not for everybody. You gotta be in the mood for them, but I love them. We'd love to see you if you ever do Serenity, really. Mercedes? My dad almost named me Mercedes. And I was like, okay, you want me to be a stripper? What? No. And my mom wanted to name me Ariel, and that was before Little Mermaid came out, so I'm really happy she didn't. So they went with basic bitch Ashley. I was like, alright, whatever. Maybe I would have liked Mercedes, because then I could be Merc for short. And that'd be cool. I'd be okay with that. Or Mercy. Oh man, there's so many cool things with Mercedes.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. I wouldn't have minded that. Definitely, Heather, definitely. I will let you know, because I've been trying to get to that con for a while. That one's like full the minute they end usually. Because I talked to the lady, I'm like, when do applications even go live? She's like, we don't even really have them. Because right away when the con ends, they do that thing where you can sign up the next year. And it sells out almost immediately whenever they have applications open. So I got super lucky. So we'll see how it goes. Mercedes. That's true, Sniggle. That's very true. Okay, we did 2 books today. This one is definitely better than the other one. But you know what? You do 100 of them, you're going to have some winners and some losers, and that's okay. That's the draw, I guess. Let's see what's going on. Next week we'll be on. Gabe's gonna probably demo. What was the new thing you got?
Zip tone screen.
Oh yeah, here. Let me show that. Give me a couple. For those that don't know, I'm surprised at actually how many people don't know about this. But a lot of the old ways people would do the shading and stuff in comic books and things. This is like old school, pre-digital, right? They had zip tone, and some of you may know what zip tone is. So it's like this, right? And it's got different patterns on it. Some like are the kawaii pattern, where it's like hearts and junk. Some are just like gradients, or just, solid paper. But we have been looking everywhere for these in the States, because actually importing them is way too expensive. It's not even worth it, because each one of these pages is $7. So imagine that plus import fees. But anyway, so what they are is they're basically a sticker. So you cut them out to fit wherever they need to be on your panel, your comic panel, and you just stick them on, basically. And this is how they used to do it back in the day. So next week on Gabe's stream, since we found a bunch, and here are the super epic ones. You should have gotten more of these, by the way.
They didn't. That was they didn't have many.
Oh my
God,
that sucks. But the super bursts and things, and they're somewhat transparent, just in case you had color behind them or something. But those are gonna fall. Maybe grab them. Gabe's gonna be doing that next week. So we inked this guy. I'll probably be painting him at some point. So he'll be doing a demo on that. So that's always interesting, because you gotta, you basically put it down and you trace it with an X-Acto knife and stuff, and you cut it out. It's crazy. But we thought it'd be cool to actually use them on originals to sell. So it looks like, you've got an original comic panel painting, almost. So anyway, plus to make back the money, that those cost, because damn. Yeah, it's basically impossible to find them. So we found them at it's a store called Da Vinci, and it was in New York City. We went to 3 or 4 different art stores that are nowhere near us, so it was pretty cool. We found a lot of neat stuff. But yeah, definitely come back on Monday on Gabe's channel if you want to put in your thing in the chat to see how to do that. And then next week for me, hopefully I'll be able to submit the new icons this weekend. And so we'll have new emojis, hopefully, so we can get those other tiers going. But I'll be probably doing either commission coloring or, doing Inktober if I've got those to do. And then maybe doing this as the painting that I was going to try. I was going to try a completely different thing that I've never done before. And if it fails, you'll see it. So that's kind of cool, right? Oh yeah. So if you do want to go to FairyCon and you want one of those tickets, just message me, email me, however you want to get a hold of me, whisper me on Twitch. I don't care. I'll give you them. I don't even mind. And if you're scared of me sending you stuff, put your grandma's address. I don't know. I'm not going to harass your grandma. I promise. I love the elderly. Anyway, all right. We'll be back on Gabe's stream Monday at 9 p.m. CST. He put in his thing. Heather, it was so good to see you again. I'm so sorry that we have to go right now. But thank you all for being here. Mayfox, Serenity, Sniggle, Buggles, Bunny, and I know Mango's probably here somewhere too, and Mighton. We'll see you guys next week, okay? Okay. Hopefully Gabe's better by then. Bye!